Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome back to another live edition of Maddie's Rap with author and storyteller Matt D. Talford. If you're new to my channel, welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Thank you for those of you who are joined, who hung out with me while I'm running a little behind tonight. So thank you to those of you that have kind of hung out there. But listen, I got a great one for y'all tonight. Y'all already know. For those of you that were on my last live stream, you know that I told you that I would be going live before the eclipse because there's some things that you guys need to know. There's some things that you all want to know about what's coming up, what is going to be activated in your life. So as I'm waiting for some people to join, let me do my normal, and that is play a little bit of music for you all. Let's bring up some music, y'all. Get this party started right, okay? With DJ Matt on YouTube streaming live. I was gonna give a radio station, but I don't work for any radio station. So DJ Matt on Matt FM, right? Right, here we go, family. Here we go. Thank y'all for being here tonight. In just a moment, we're gonna get this party started with a little reggae music. All right, give me a minute. Switch the feed up. All righty, here we go. Let's get it started, y'all. All right, let's get some happy music going here. Oh, we got 6 people in the chat. Let's see. What's up, Bernadette? We got Bernadette in the house. We got Green Tambourine. We got Maja Reacts. What's up, Maja Reacts? Okay. Hey, we're watching with Mommy. Okay, all right. Well, thank you for joining. There's a new name I haven't seen. Oh, Maya React. What's up, Maya? What is up, Maya? What is up, Maya? Nisi, what is up, Nisi? Y'all come on in. Mariah Stella, what's up, Mariah? All right, family, y'all come on in. Because y'all know I haven't spilled any tea for y'all in a while. And Allie Rue, what is up, Allie? Allie Rue, I get excited every time I see that name in the chat. What is up, Allie? What's up, y'all? All right, y'all, listen. I got a hot one for y'all tonight. And I got 11 people in here, so there's no reason for me to wait any longer. Y'all know the drill, right? Hit that like button on your way in, because that helps trigger the algorithm and alerts more people to the fact that we're online and we're streaming live, okay? Thank y'all for being here tonight. I'm going to sip my coffee. And look, I told y'all last time, don't be laughing at me because of my Giants cup, because the Giants might be looking better this year with some free agent acquisitions they made. But I ain't giving them none of my energy, okay? Because y'all know, I already told y'all what it was. They keep this matrix going by giving you something to look forward to that is in a distant time. So I'm not looking forward to this upcoming NFL season. I'm not looking forward to no basketball season, baseball, none of that, okay? NBA finals, none of that. I'm not looking forward to any of that. I'm looking forward to the flip, all right? That is now where I'm putting my emotional investment. My energy, emotion, investment is going into the flip. I want to see this matrix flip turn upside down so it can turn right back, right side up with the righteous on top. That's what we're trying to do up in here, all right? So let me turn the music down, family, and we're going to get this party started. Y'all up in here tonight, man. I'm excited. Thank y'all for being here, all right? All right, y'all. The music is done, and we're going to jump in here. What's up, Bella? We got Bella in the house, all right? Who else we got? We got Maya, Bernadette. All right, we got 15 people in the chat, family. Let's get started. Aries solar eclipse, which is going to take place tomorrow night. What energies are being activated in your life? That's exactly what we're going to talk about tonight. But before we do, y'all know what I do. I'm going to keep it going the way I do it. I got to read. Listen, y'all, I write the copy. I got to read it, all right? So give me a minute bear with me while I read the copy from the description box, because not everybody reads the copy in the description box. Some people see the announcement. They get the notification that Maddie is going live, and that's enough for y'all. So I'm going to read the copy because I wrote the copy. All right, here we go. Eclipses are extremely powerful change agents in the lives of every living thing on this planet. While lunar eclipses are about releases, such as out with the old to make room for the new, solar eclipses are all about activation of new energy. Lunar eclipses are tied to the heart chakra. Solar eclipses are all about power, which emanates from the solar plexus chakra. In tonight's live stream, we will be talking about how this upcoming eclipse will affect change in our lives based upon the house that Aries occupies in your natal chart. Okay. And for tonight's lineup, y'all, I did it like a playbill for y'all tonight. Okay. For those of y'all that have gone to live plays, Broadway, off Broadway, whatever, y'all know what a playbill is. I did it like a playbill tonight, y'all. In Act 1, which is coming up shortly, I'm going to return to story time, where I'm going to spill a little tea. All right. Hopefully I won't spill any coffee because I'm wearing a white shirt tonight and I'm drinking coffee. All right. Shouldn't be drinking coffee this late, but your boy been grinding today, so I wanted to make sure I didn't start falling off midway through the stream. But I never do that because y'all energy is so high. Y'all keep me up and pumped. All right. So let's keep it moving. Act 1, story time. Spilling some tea tonight. Solar eclipses are not just about activations. They're also about revelations. And I'm going to give y'all tonight an example of a 7th house Aries activation. Your boy's a 7th house Aries. So I got a story I'm going to share with y'all. And this story is fresh, y'all. This story is fresh as of like less than 24 hours. This is a fresh story, fresh tea I'm spilling tonight. No names. No names because I like to, I like to respect people. They don't need to, I don't like to out nobody and none of that because things happen. And y'all know how life is. You tell somebody, especially when you're, one of your favorite people is mishandled. Let me say mishandled by somebody. Y'all know how we do. We all do it. It's human nature. You feel some type of way. You be like, who did it? Where they at? Let me get at them. So I don't like to do that because you know what? You could fall out with somebody today and make up with them tomorrow. But if you tell somebody today how you fell out with somebody today, they don't care about if you made up tomorrow. They only remember the version of that person you told them about today. That's why I'm very careful sometimes when I try to be careful not to spill tea, because when you do spill tea and you add names to it, they should be for learning, y'all. They should be learning examples is what they exactly should be. They should be about learning opportunities. And not everything's a teachable moment. Some of my closest friends tell me that a lot. They be like, Matt, everything's not a teachable moment. But when you got the mind of a teacher, you just, I don't know. You try to learn from life and you hope that others can learn from your examples. My old man told me a long time ago, he said, son, one of the easiest ways not to repeat a mistake that you see somebody else make is not to do the same thing they did. Right? So that is why I share some of these stories, because I hope that we can learn from them. So in Act 1, we're going to story time, and I'm going to tell you guys about, and it's going to be a perfect segue into Act 2. I'm going to tell you about a 7th house activation that is a result of this pre-eclipse energy. And I tell you guys all the time, the cosmos does not move on a switch. Okay. You don't see this thing. The cosmos is a dial that moves like this. It moves like a clock. Okay. It doesn't jump from 1 to 2. It moves from 1 to 2. Okay. And the thing is this, every eclipse, even though the eclipse is scheduled for March the 29th, it is not, or March 28th, is it? I'm getting confused, y'all. I've been looking at too much data today. Hang on one second. Hang on. Let me look at this really quick before we get started. I'm still in the preview stage. Let's see. Lunar eclipse 20, or not lunar, solar eclipse 2025. Thank you all for being here tonight. All right, let's see. Partial solar eclipse will occur on March the 29th. So it's 2 days from now, March 29th, 2025, visible in parts of the northeastern United States and eastern Canada. It will begin around 4:50 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time and end just before 8:43 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, with viewers needing special eclipse glasses for safe viewing, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so it's 2 days from today, okay? Or a day and a half if you want to play with the time, So anyway, I like to get out ahead of that and tell you guys what you can expect. Got a partial solar eclipse coming up on March 29th, 2 days. Now, again, these eclipse energies, you don't go from no energy felt to all of the energy felt on the day of the eclipse. This thing moves gradually. It moves in stages. Have y'all ever watched the eclipse? You know how it goes, like, it moves in front of the, let me get the camera up here. It moves in front of it like this, and then it goes like that, covers it. It's like, boom. Y'all see it coming, you see it coming, you see it coming, boom, totally eclipse, you don't see anything, and then it's off. The cosmos moves the same way. So you start feeling these eclipse energies days, sometimes a week or a little bit more before the actual eclipse event. And the energies intensify. And then as we move away from it and get on the other side of the eclipse, you still feel the energy, but it starts to lessen until, you know, you're all the way through that portal. So it's like a doorway opening. You don't see a castle door open, swing open like that. That castle, or the olden days, you would see the castle door go up. It doesn't go from here to boom, and then boom. It goes up, it goes down. The cosmos moves the same way. So a lot of you have been feeling these eclipse energies already. A lot of you have been experiencing them already. Some of you may not have known what the origin of some of these intense occurrences have been, but we're going to talk about that tonight. And I'm going to begin by sharing with you a story. That story will segue into what's being activated and revealed based on your Aries house. Now, if you have planets in Aries, you can expect activations, even revelations in the areas of what those planets represent. For example, Mercury represents communication, thought, learning, technology, that sort of thing. And we're actually on top of that, we happen to be in the midst of a Mercury retrograde on top of that. Okay. So Mercury's retrograde. And then on top of that, we're in we got an eclipse coming up in Aries. So there's a lot going on right now. Mercury retrograde in Aries. We got an eclipse in Aries. So there's a lot happening. All right. So we're going to talk about, I'm not going to deal with the planets tonight, but you can look at your own chart. If you have any planets in Aries, Sun, that's going to be your day-to-day activity, your ego self. Moon's going to be your emotions. Mercury's going to be your speech, communication. Venus is going to be your partnerships. Mars is partnerships and possessions, that thing too. Mars is going to be about your action, intimacy, both of those. Jupiter is going to be about your abundance, your blessings, your expansion, your gifts. I'm going to be talking about that in another live stream, your gifts. And then you got Saturn, karma, karmic lessons, structure, order, that sort of thing. Uranus, unconventional, ways that we're unconventional, ways that we're innovative, that sort of thing. Neptune, dreams, visions, hopes, also delusions and illusions. And then Pluto, of course, powerful, your power and your transformation. So Mars is about power as well, but it's about power and action, power in the action form. Pluto is about power in the transformation form. So, but I'm not dealing with any of those planets tonight. Nobody nobody alive watching this video has a Pluto in Aries, so you can throw that out the window. Okay. No, if you do, you're probably a ghost. Nobody sees you. You're not, which means you're not alive. Pluto has not been in Aries for a very long time, and it's not going to be in Aries for a very long time. Okay. All right. So nobody alive is trust me. And by the time Pluto hits Aries again, it's in Aquarius right now. It's got to go from Aquarius to Pisces and then Aries, and it spends about 20 or so years in the sign. So some of us here may see Pluto and Aries. I don't know. But anyway, I'm getting long-winded. Let me get on with it. Act 2, what's being activated and revealed based on your Aries house. And then in bonus time, y'all, I had a very, very interesting revelation. Interesting revelation a couple days ago, looking at Dr. Mumi Saraki's Instagram page and an article she shared. In fact, I got my phone. I knew it. I knew something was going to happen where I was going to have to step away. I was like, nah, I got everything. And I left my phone in the other room. I need to get my phone so I can copy those images over and show you guys some images that explain, that tie into a dream / vision / astral trip that some of you remember me talking about on a live stream back in December. Y'all, let me tell you something. Some of these things are foreshadowings, okay? They're foreshadowing. Some people, do you think these dreams are just random? Sometimes they're foreshadowings. I got to show you this. Hopefully y'all stick around to the end, because this is going to make you be like, oh, snap, that really happened. I'll be right back, family. Let me grab my phone. You're watching Maddie's Rap with author and storyteller Matthew Talford. All right, that was a short break. We're back. Let me go ahead and copy these images over now, so I'll have them, and we'll get started. Thank y'all for being here tonight. Give me 1 second. Let me just copy these images over, and then we're gonna get the party crunk. We're gonna get it crunk, family. Thank y'all for being here. All righty, let's see. Airdrop. Boom, got them. All right. That is what I wanted. All right, 1, 2, 3. All right, they're in numerical order. Good. All right, so let's get it started. All righty. Now, so let me start spilling some tea. Let me check in really quick before we get started. Let's see who else we got in here. Thank y'all for being here tonight. B Royalty, what's up, family? What's up? And we got Bella. Okay, all right, we got the family in the house. We got everybody in. All right, so let's go. Let's go. Now, all right, let's get this party started. Let me spill some tea for y'all. Let me talk to y'all about evidence that these activations happen before the day of the eclipse. All right, family. So it sort of pains me to share this story. It sort of does. I'm gonna be honest, but you know, sometimes people learn and grow from us sharing our stories. So y'all know, a lot of y'all have been watching me for years. Y'all know I'm a tennis player. Y'all know I'm an avid tennis player. Y'all know I'm a competition tennis player. I'm not the type of competition tennis player you're going to see on television. So if you're turning on tennis channel or you're looking at NBC Sports or Wimbledon or something like that, if you see me at Wimbledon, I'm out there holding up one of them big old stuffed number ones, all right, or something like that. I'm not on that court playing with those people. I'm not that caliber, okay? Funny story, years ago, we had a women's pro tournament in my local hometown, and they needed one of the girls came there. She didn't have any. There were a lot of the girls came. They didn't have any coaches, so they saw some of us out there. And this one girl, she was skinny, skinny young girl, lots smaller than me weight wise. I mean, I would say she might have been 115, 120, soaking wet. And she was like, "Hey, do you mind if I warm up? Can you hit with me to warm up? I don't have a hitting partner or anything, and I just want to warm up for about 15 minutes before we start taking the court and everything like that." I'm like, sure. I'll come out and hit with you. That girl hit that ball so heavy and hard. That ball was coming in so heavy with so much spin. After about 5 minutes, I was like, look, let me get somebody a little bit higher level than me to come hit with you, because this is not going to be productive for you at all. That's when I got my first lesson on. It's not about size, all right? It's about how you use your body kinetics and moving in and through that tennis ball and you're hitting it. So I was just like, I promise you, this girl was not near my weight. And I mean, she gave me a lesson on how to properly hit the ball. I'm like, how in the world is she getting all this top spin and this power? Anyway, so I called my boy Bill over. I was like, Bill was like 3 levels above me skills wise. So I was like, Bill, come hit with her. He's like, I got it. So Bill's out there hitting with it and everything like that. Bill coaches too. I coach too, but I coach the lower levels. I don't coach the high performance players. I don't, anyway, but that's not to speak to my own skill. I'm decent. In fact, I played in my competition, but I'm not gonna. Let me get back on point. So anyway, y'all know I'm a tennis player. Well, we're getting around to those of you who play USTA, United States Tennis Association, adult league tennis. You know that there are 3 primary seasons every year. You got spring season, you got mixed doubles. Spring season is gender. You play men's tennis or women's tennis on your team, and then you got mixed doubles that comes after that. And then after mixed doubles, you got something called combo, where you play one player with one level, and then another player a level lower than that. So they combine them. And that's back to straight gender, men's combo or women's combo. So we're about done with our spring league, and the recruiting is going out. The recruiting notifications are going out now for the summer mixed doubles league. And someone whom I considered a longtime friend hit me up and said, "Hey, can you play on my team this year?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll play." But then I texted her back and said, with a caveat. And I won't get into what that caveat was, but I was like, hey, there were some things that happened a couple years ago, and I ended up, stepping in, and because of my long-time captaining experience, over 18 years captaining experience, I'll be happy to co-captain and, or substitute captain while you're on vacation, blah, 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 blah. Okay, fine. It was great when things were going great, but when some things didn't go so well, it was like, hey, it was almost like, well, you told me to do this, that, and the third. And I'm like, well, I gave you suggestions, but this is your team. Okay. So anyway, little bit of a rift, but you know what? You get that, this particular person's an earth energy. I'm an earth energy. Y'all know earth and earth, it quake. When they don't agree, earth and earthquake. That's what happens with earth signs. When you got 2 earth signs, when they don't agree, they quake. You got 2 fire signs, and we're talking partnership here. So this is a partnership. Okay. It's tennis, but it's a partnership. So fire and fire, it gets, you got 2 fire signs, that fire gets bigger when they don't agree. 2 water signs, it floods when they don't agree. And 2 air signs, when they don't agree, it's a hurricane. So this is why, when you're talking about relationship synastry, it is good to have that balance, earth and water, air and fire. That tends to work out well. So and those are complementary energies, by the way. But in this particular case, earth sign and another earth sign. So when you disagree, it's a little bit of a quake. And anyway, so let me so moving on, fast forward back to the conversation. I said, listen, as long as we don't run into any issues like that again, I said that was very uncomfortable for me. To be honest with you, it was stressful, and I'm not interested in that anymore. If you want me to play, I'll be happy to play. And we've known each other for a long time. So, I just figured, hey, you know what? Let me be transparent. I'm growing. All of us are here to grow, y'all. We come to this earth to grow. Old Matt might have held that back and not said it. Old Matt used to chin up a lot of stuff. I'm being very transparent tonight. Old Matthew used to chin up a lot of stuff, but older and wiser Matthew, you know what? I'm not chinning up anything. I'm going to be transparent. If we can get along, great. If we can't get along, we ain't supposed to get along at this stage. Maybe we'll get along at another stage and another time and another distance and another galaxy, whatever, something. But I got to be authentic, because the same stuff that I tell you guys on this channel, I apply it to myself. I'm not going to come on here and tell you guys anything that I don't work on myself. For me, it's like, okay, Matt, if you're going to reach your destiny, the only way to get there is to operate in the energy of 100% authenticity. If I'm not being authentic, it's not good for me. It's not good for anybody I'm dealing with. In fact, I put this on my Instagram some time ago. I put a little thing up there, and I put it on my community post as well here on YouTube. I said, anything short of authenticity is deception. And that's true. And sometimes deception is not meant to be malignant. It just or malicious, I should say, not malignant. It's not meant to be malicious. Sometimes you're like, you know what? I just don't maybe want to tell everything because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, or I don't want somebody not to like me, or I don't want somebody to be mad at me. So I'll keep this part back. But you're not being honest. You're not being honest. And honesty is the best policy. Look, just tell me. Just tell me, And so I'm growing. So I said, you know what? Let me just tell her. Let me tell her straight up. I'm not interested in this. And I knew it could be a rub, because this happens to be, no offense to my fixed earths out here, but this happens to be a fixed earth. And I know how that fixed earth energy is, how it can be. And me being a Capricorn, you got a cardinal energy with a fixed energy, and they both the same sign. Sometimes it works better when they're opposite signs or different signs, but when they both the same sign, sometimes they could, oh, hold on, wait, well, why is your way better than my way? Whatever. Anyway, so I know I'm taking y'all all the way around the house, the block, to get you to the house next door. That's just what I do. I try to take y'all in a comfortable car, okay? So comfortable car with the AC on and everything. You're gonna be real comfortable, all right? Anyway, so the response I get back is a little bit short, but it's not mean or anything. It's like, and it took a while. I'm like, it took you that long to write back 2 sentences? Just like, oh, hang on a second. Okay, look, looks like I went out there a minute. Connectivity, let's see what's happening. Okay, hang on a sec, fam. Okay, I got my bars back. So I don't know if I went out, but anyway, I'm just like, it took that long to write those 2 sentences, and it was like, okay, whatever. So we come back, and I'm thinking, all right, well, cool. She's gonna let me know, what the team number is, and I can go ahead and sign up, whatever. So today, y'all, now I'm already signed up for another team, the team that I played on last year that went to the championships, and we finished in second place. We were runner-ups, state championship team. So when that captain asked me to play again, I was like, bet, I'm signing me back up. We had a good run last year. And today I get a text message from the other captain that I had the conversation with. And no, I'm sorry. Let me back up. I don't get a text message from her. I get a text message from championship captain. And that text message says, hey, the other captain wants to play, or the other captain has a family member that wants to, son, let me know, no cap, because I'm not using any names, okay? Has a son that wants to play on this team. And I've already maxed out all my slots for guys. So would you mind giving up your slot so her son can play on this team? If you don't want to, it's cool. I understand it. And again, I'm an Aries in the 7th house. Shadow side of Aries is it can be impulsive, okay? So when you talk about 7th house, it's a house of partnerships. Again, that's a partnership type of situation. I say, yeah, you can have it. Because I'm like, if I'm the first person you looked at to give up their spot for somebody, then you showing me where I land on the totem pole. Even though I was one of the top players on the team last year, out of all the guys. Look at my win-loss record. Okay, I did my thing. Now, and all the ladies wanted to play with me too, by the way, because they know what Matt does. They know how I get down with my serve. They know how I get down at the net. They know all my skills. They know my overheads. They don't try to lob me. Do you try to lob me this short? You already know what's happening. You better duck on the other side of the net. Duck, because I'm coming. All right. They know how I get down. But I'm like, I'm a little bit offended. I'm a little bit tweaked, y'all. I'm like, did she bump me? Like, did she ask anybody else? Or was I the first person? But I didn't want to get all into that. I was like, nah, I don't want to be no conflict. Bump it. I ain't got to play. I'm like, cool. Yeah. You can have my spot. Cool. It's cool. So she's like, good. That way everybody gets to play. Yay. And I say, you know what, Matt? Remember, because I get downloads from my spirit team to help me upgrade myself all the time. And one of the key themes, a few of the key themes, y'all, I don't mind sharing this. I'm being transparent tonight. A few of the key themes for me this lifetime are patience, forgiveness, and unconditional love. Those are 3 things I came to work on this lifetime. I'm being very transparent tonight. Okay. So I said to myself, you know what? I can let that go. Because this captain right here, that was probably pressure on her from this other person right here. And she probably knew that, you know what? If anybody I can ask that's not going to give me no attitude, it's going to be Matt. And that's exactly the response she got. I told her, cool, you can let him play. It's fine. But then the day goes on and I start contemplating it. And I'm like, wait a minute. Let me go and check this roster and see if my other captain that asked me to play in her team, the one I played for that I said was uncomfortable a couple years ago, let me see if she's on this team. And I look, and lo and behold, she's there. And so I said, I see what's happening. She want to play with her son. So now I'm a little bit tweaked because I'm like, why couldn't she just come to me directly and say, Matt, you know what? I mean, you've known me for years. I'm talking like 2 decades. You've known me for like 2 decades. Been all to your house. We done been on trips together, all of this stuff. You could just come to me and said, hey, Matt, you know what? I really want to play with my son, but I talked to Captain A and she says she doesn't have any more guy slots. Would you mind if, trading out with, since you're already going to play on my team, would you mind trading out with my son so he can play with me? Because I really, he's grown up now and I want to play he's out of college and I want to play mixed doubles with my son. She would have got nothing out of me but love. I'd have been like, absolutely. I love the son. The son is dope. Me and I've been knowing him since he's little. Much respect when he sees me, smiles, we dap each other up, love him, like family, they're family. So that's all she had to do, y'all. But she went around and it reminded me when I was little. And I tell y'all sometimes I got 5 siblings, 4 brothers and a sister. And each of us, you got all these different energies in the house. Everybody does different stuff with their allowance money. Me, I got one brother, he used to go and buy jewelry. Another one used to buy new clothes. Another one, whatever the latest games were, he wanted to go buy games. Okay. This one right here, I saved half my money. And the other half, y'all, I had a love affair with food. So I'm talking like, when I got old enough to start working, I had a grass cutting route in my neighborhood and everything like that. So I've been making my own money. I used to make my own money when I was 12 years old. I told y'all the story. Me and my cousin, we used to go stand in front of the supermarkets in Long Island and help. This was back before they had plastic grocery bags. So we would go early in the mornings in the summers, especially on the weekends, and help the older ladies because they would go shop at first thing the store open. So we'd be off the bus before the store opened, and we over there standing in front of the supermarket. Excuse me, man, would you like some help carrying your bags to the car? Boom. We used to make a lot of money like that when we were little. For kids, like for 12-year-olds, we used to make a lot of money. And so I've been working for myself. So anyway, Matt used to take his money and buy food. So it's just like I would write my name on it. And I'd be like, yo, this is mine. Don't touch it. I'll put it in the freezer, put it in the fridge, whatever. But I got a little brother. And this little brother, he knew if he asked me, I was going to say no. He already knew I was going to say no. And so what he would do is he'd go around me and ask my mother, say, hey, ask Matt if you can have some of his such and such. And she'd be like, why you want me to ask him? Now, I find out about this later because I had a conversation with my mother. I was like, Mom, look, this is what it is. So I had a conversation with her. And come to find out, he was asking my mother to ask me, and then he would get some from her because he knew I was going to tell him no if he came and asked me directly. And so it reminded me of that. It tweaked me a little bit. You know, that stopped after I had that conversation with my mother, by the way. That ceased. That came to an end. I was like, if you want something, come ask me and get that no firsthand. Get that no firsthand. But if we cool, I might. But it's a 75 to 85 to 95% likelihood I'm going to say no. All right? Because you get your own allowance. You do what you're going to do with yours. I'm going to do what I do with mine. All right? That's how that was. So this reminded me of that. So it, you know, y'all, you listen, childhood, now that wasn't trauma, but I'm saying things that happened to us in our childhood, y'all, it tends to stay with us into our adulthood. It does. And certain things trigger certain memories. So that triggered that memory for me. And I was like, we cool, man. Me and this girl, we cool. Why would she not come to me directly and ask me? I would have told her yes. I'd have been happy to do that. It would have been an honor to give up my spot so she could play with her son. I love her. I love her son. But she tried to go around me and be slick, y'all. So what did Matt do? Y'all put it in the comments. What y'all think Matt did? I want to see how well y'all think y'all know me. Put in the comments for my regulars on here. I'm sure I got some people that aren't regulars perhaps watching. But even if you're not a regular, still put in there. How do y'all think Matt handled that situation? All right. And then I'm gonna answer that for y'all. And then I'm gonna move into how this segues into how this solar eclipse is activating you, how this solar eclipse is upgrading you. And more importantly, solar eclipses are about revelations as well. Why? Because the sun, the daylight reveals the things that were hidden in the night. The daylight reveals them. So I'm going to tell y'all about that because this theme with not just this one, every solar eclipse is about energetic activations and then revelations. Okay. Bella said, Matt said something to her. He called her and told her that LOL. I don't know what that means, Bella. I don't know what that means. You have to give me be a little bit more specific. You pulled her aside and told her how you felt. Give me two more answers. I'm gonna hold that. Give me two more answers. Y'all. What did Matt do? You told her she could have told you. Okay, give me one more answer. Any takers? You told her how you felt pretty much. Okay, all right. I'm not going to hold y'all any longer. She said you let her think you didn't know. Oh, snap. Oh, I wish I had something to give away. Beauty of core physics. Beauty of core. Drop your sign in there. I got to know. Drop your sun sign in the chat. I got to know what your sign is. Beauty of core got it right. Beauty of core got it right. I got to know what your sign is, Beauty of core. I got to know. Please put it in the chat for Aries. Oh, snap. Aries. Y'all dealing with them warriors right there. Aries is the warrior, y'all. The warrior in her must have seen the warrior in me. The Mars in her must have seen the Mars in me. Now, I'm not an Aries. It's a Libra moon. Okay. All right. Well, that's about balance. Okay. We right here. Your moon to my ascendant. Hot shot. Do you say I got you, hot shot? I got you. You said you confronted her. You asked her why she did not come to you directly. Nah, I did. That wasn't it. She said Mars and Leo. Okay, your Mars and Leo. Y'all, if I'm reluctant to tell y'all what my Mars sign is, that probably ought to tell you what my Mars sign is. Okay. If I'm reluctant to tell y'all what my Mars sign is, that probably ought to tell you what my Mars sign is. All right. For those of y'all that know astrology, you already know. Beauty of core got it right. I didn't say one word to her. But there's more to it. What I did was I contacted the league coordinator and I said, I'm not interested in playing this year. So I am going to play, but I'm going to play on another team that loves me. Every year they like, Matt, you coming back to play with us? Matt, you family, you know you got to come back and play with us, right? I'm talking about this group I play with, y'all. I got to travel a little bit to play with them, but it is all love, y'all. It is all love. If I gotta travel an hour to play with them, I'm there. If they say the match is 1 hour away, they know I'm there. But on top of that, if they gotta come to where I'm at for a pickup match, if I call them, I say, yo, look, I ain't doing nothing on Saturday. Y'all come through. They there. They got the cooler. They got all sorts of beverages, non-adult and adult. All right. And we have a good time, y'all. We have a good time. So I'm going to play with them. And in fact, I tell y'all, everything is connected. Everything is connected. So this was an opportunity for me. This was an opportunity, but it's not over yet because, again, I understand and understand and overstand and understand that I came here to grow in the areas of unconditional love, forgiveness, and patience. So what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to throw away a 20 plus year relationship because this person didn't know how I operate and didn't have the courage to come to me directly. So I haven't done anything. She's going to figure out when I'm not signed up on her team that I'm not playing with her team this year. And then maybe, but that's an opportunity again for me. I'm telling y'all how I move a little bit. Nah, you ain't gonna know all my moves. I'm not telling you all my moves. Hopefully somebody's learning from this. But I'm gonna see further who she is and what the strength of our relationship, what the foundation of our relationship looks like. Has it changed? Because y'all, we're constantly growing and upgrading. And sometimes some of us move to different frequencies and others move to other frequencies or other state. They remain at certain frequencies. So what I don't do is I don't reach back into a previous. If I change the channel, I'm not changing the channel back. If I change the channel from one program that I'm not enjoying to a program I'm enjoying, I'm not turning back to a program I don't enjoy. That makes no sense. All right. If I'm watching an exciting game on ABC where it's neck and neck and it's getting down to the wire, I'm not going to change from that to turn to a game where one team's blowing out the other team. Like, that bores me. That game is over with. I don't care how much time is left in it. This team's getting blown out. Like, I don't want to watch that. I want to watch this team over here where this game's exciting. So as we grow in life, y'all, we new upgrades and new energetic upgrades in our lives are times for excitement. Why do you want to go back to something that no longer serves you? So this is going to allow me to see where this person is, and hopefully this person can latch on and grow too. Listen, I can forgive you, but I can also love you from a detached position. That's going to be better for you and for me, because I can't be nothing but real. And if I'm not enjoying your company anymore, you're going to know it. Okay. So I don't want you to go through that. I don't want you to have to deal with that. So if I can't be real with you, I can't deal with you. That's just how I am. So how am I going to handle this moving forward? I'm going to go ahead. I've already signed up for this other team that is a party every time we play. Okay. Family, I've already signed up for that team. And as far as this one goes, she's just gonna have to learn from my mistakes. Now here's the thing, y'all. Old Matt might have just chinned that up and just signed up for the team anyway and not said anything. But you know what? That's not gonna serve me. I'm not even gonna play my best under those circumstances. And to be honest with you, I don't even want to hear sorry. It's like I can't play for you now, even if you apologize, because of the manipulation. That was what you did was sort of manipulative, and I can't just let you manipulate me and then I still play with you. Like, I can't do that. That's not, I don't move like that, because then that's going to eat away at me. Like, I can't believe I let this person, you know what I mean? So, so she may reach out and ask me why I didn't play on her team. And then that's when I'm gonna, talk to her. Who was that said I'm gonna pull it to the side? Who was that? Hotshot said you confronted her and asked why she didn't come directly to you. Hotshot, that is going to happen at some point if she asks me why I didn't sign up for a team. But if she asks me why I didn't sign up for a team, then that's going to show me that there's 50% care in there. But at the same time, I got to do what serves me, because obviously you're doing what serves you. And if what you're doing to serve you wrongs me, what's that scripture from Amos, the book of Amos? How can two walk together lest they be agreed? Somebody put that in the chat if you know what that passage of scripture is. Drop that in the chat for everybody's benefit. But there's a passage of scripture in the book of Amos that says, how can two walk together lest they be agreed? We're going to get past it, y'all. We're going to get past it, because I love her. I love her family. I know the Hubs. If the Hubs talked to her, he probably was like, maybe you ought to talk to Matt. But then, when you're dealing with that, when you deal with them fixed signs, y'all, them fixed signs do it the way they want to do it. Them fixed signs do it the way they want to do it. The Hubs is a cardinal sign. I don't want to give away too much info. The Hubs is the cardinal sign, and I know him, me and him like this. If I know him and she asked him, he would have said, look, talk to Matt. So either that happened, either that didn't happen, or it did happen, and she's like, nah, I ain't gonna do it that way. I'm gonna go to this person over here and get her to call him. That's the manipulation part. Don't manipulate me. Just come straight to me. Look, I'm cool. I'm cool. Maybe sometimes my energy comes across as intimidating, and then maybe sometimes there's the other dichotomy, or the other axis, or the other polarity, if you will. Maybe there's this thing of, oh, well, Matt's so nice he won't mind. Because there have been many times in my life, y'all, where my kindness has been taken for a weakness. And sometimes when you're kind and you're congenial, sometimes people who are users will use that against you, or they'll use it to their advantage, not considering how their actions might affect you as a person. So with that being said, let me read some comments, and then we're going to segue. Y'all, I'm going to run through these houses quick because I'm dealing with the theme, Aries theme. Aries rules over the first house, which is the house of self. So the theme tonight is what is being revealed in your the house that you have Aries in. One, what is being revealed to you? And two, how are you showing up? How are you showing up based on the energy that belongs to the house that you have Aries in? So this is not going to be, I'm not doing a real deep dive. Let me tell you again, for those of y'all that are familiar with tarot, eclipses are tower moments. Eclipses can be equated to the tower card in tarot. Y'all know what the tower card is. It is an image of a giant high tower with a lightning bolt coming out of a cloud, striking that tower and destroying it, bringing it down. Some imagery, the tower breaks and crumbles. In other card imagery, the tower is on fire, but it's always lightning coming out of a cloud. The symbolism in the tower card is divine intervention. The symbolism in the tower card is the universe stepping in and forcing you to do something that you did not do on your own. There are two transformation energies in tarot, okay? One of them is the 13 card, which is the death card. The other is the 16 card, which is the tower card. The death card in tarot represents dying to self-transformation, self-induced transformation, saying, hey, you know what? I know I need to change, and I'm going to change. What happens when you know you need to change and you don't change? The universe comes in and does it for you. It forces you to. Okay? So what eclipses do is, if there are areas in your life that you know you needed to change, but you refuse to do it, the universe going to make you change. It's going to make you change. You don't have a choice. Just like Jonah. Jonah knew talking about referencing the book of Jonah, the biblical prophet Jonah, the Israelite prophet Jonah. Jonah knew that he received divine instruction to go to Nineveh and preach to them for their salvation. And I ain't talking about church salvation. Hallelujah, you saved. No, I ain't talking about that. Y'all look up, y'all watch. If you haven't done it, I know I beat this drum all the time. Watch my series, Exploring Salvation, parts 1, 2, 3, and then a 4, conclusion or whatever. Salvation has always been a physical act. It is treated like it's a membership club by the church establishment. Salvation is not a membership club. You saved? Oh, you're not saved? No, it don't happen like that. Salvation has always been a physical act. Always. Look it up. Go watch my videos. I broke it down. I broke it down using the concordance. Okay? Looking at the Old Hebrew and the Greek. It has always been a physical act. So, anyway, how did I get on salvation? Forgot how I got on there, y'all. Sometimes I go off on a tangent and then I'm lost and the GPS ain't working. So let me find my way back onto the road, okay? Oh, there's a familiar tree. Okay, I'm back now. So anyway, it forces you to come in and make the changes that you would not. Oh, Jonah, Nineveh, okay? Jonah knew he needed to go and preach salvation. He needed to preach to the people in Nineveh, so for their salvation, their preservation, because if he didn't go preach to them, then the Most High was going to destroy them in a grotesque fashion, of course. Okay, so he didn't want to do it. He didn't want to do it. He had the opportunity to self-transform, but he didn't want to do it. So guess what? He got that tower moment when that tempest came, and they were like, "Where in the world did this storm come from?" The weather map said it. The weatherman said it was going to be clear all the way from here to wherever this island vacation retreat he was trying to get to was. Where did this come from? Jonah's like, man, it's me, man. It's me, y'all. I don't want all y'all to die for me. Just throw me overboard. If anybody gonna die, it's gonna be one person, not everybody. Boom, toss him overboard, and boom, the giant fish. Y'all know the rest of the story. Y'all know the rest of the story. That's that tower card moment. So eclipses are tower moments. Now, they don't have to be. Some people are constantly doing their inner work, and they don't feel these intense transformations that come with these eclipses, but a lot of us don't. A lot of us don't do the work, and we get forced into it. Now, keep in mind, I tell y'all too that eclipses are portals. They're doors, they're gateways. We move through life like this, okay? Once you go through that door, there's no going back. That door closes behind you. That is the progression of life. And so based on where you have these energies in your chart, y'all, it's so beautifully, we're made so beautifully and wonderfully. We really are. Everything that happens in your life is in alignment with some cosmic clock. Down to the time you were born, down to the date, time, and location you were born. Everything moves on a cosmic clock. So divine will for your life is in place before you get here. Guess what these eclipses do? They usher us on through the divine plan for our lives. This is why we, quote unquote, get older and wiser. You know why you get older and wiser? It's not just the experiences that you endure. It is also the experiences that you're forced into by this cosmic energy. Now, if y'all been watching me for all these years, by now, if you're gonna come on here and tell me astrologies of the devil, please go read Jeremiah 31 and 35, and then come back, or don't. Okay. If you still sitting up here talking about astrologies of the devil and the stars and the moon and all of this stuff, then you are void of understanding. You're void of knowledge. The scripture says my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. It ain't because the knowledge ain't out there. It's because you reject knowledge. That's the part of the scripture that people leave out. Pastor, the word says that my people are destroyed. I said destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Are you destroyed? Are you destroyed tonight? Whoa! I ain't got no hair no more. I cut it off, but I can still shake my head. That's why I don't go to church no more. What did he just say, y'all? What did he say, right? You got to keep reading that. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. With every what, there's a why. Why are my people destroyed for a lack of knowledge? Is it because the knowledge is not available to them? No, that would be cruel. It would be cruel to destroy someone for a lack of knowledge that was not there. He says the knowledge is there, but you reject it. So if you think that astrology is somehow of the devil, then you are still... You're in somewhere in your twisted mind or indoctrinated mind, you believe that the cosmos operate independent of the will of the creator. You believe that the cosmos operate independent of the will of the universal I am presence. Go read it. 31:35. It said, thus saith the Lord who giveth the sun for a light by day and the moon for a light by night, and the ordinances of the stars, or something like that. Come on, I'm gonna read that one time for y'all. I'm gonna read that for y'all that missed the last one. For y'all that missed the last one, let me read this one time for y'all. Cause I love y'all. Cause I love you. Oh. Some folks need lots of reading for that knowledge to feel. But I'm gonna show y'all this scripture. And if it's it, God's will help, cause I love you. Oh. Where my Lenny Williams fans at? Where my Lenny Williams fans? Where y'all at, man? Y'all know that Lenny? Y'all know that Lenny? Well, Hot Shot. I know you know some Lenny. I know you know some Lenny, Hot Shot. Holla at me, Hot Shot. I know you know some Lenny. I know you do. That's what I'm talking about. All right, here we go, y'all. Jeremiah 31 and 35. Thus saith the Lord, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinances of the moon and of the stars for a light by night. That's what else y'all need to see. 36. If those ordinances, which ones? These right here that he gave. Thus saith the Lord, which giveth the sun for a light by day. How's it evil if he gave it to you? Be careful. That's all I'm saying. All right. Thank you, Complete and Whole T. Thank you. All right. So anyway, these eclipses are tower moments that force us into energies and push us along to our divinely guided path. Now, does that mean you're going to finish all your work before you check out of this frame, this meat suit, this spaceship for operating in this space? No, it doesn't. Some of us just aren't going to get it done, and we got to come back and do it all over again. I, for one, don't want to be that. I'm not going to be one of those people. I thank God for my angels, for my ancestors, for my spirit guides, for the angelic presence in my life, even the universal I am presence himself speaking to me from time to time. When it looked like I'm about to go left, Matt, Remember what you came here to do. Remember what you came here to do, Matthew. I don't want to repeat nothing, y'all. I do not want to repeat all of the hardships I've been through in my life up to this point. Y'all think I'm going to go through all of that again just to get to the point of failure? Not me. Not me. I'm checking everything off my list in true Capricorn fashion. I'm scratching everything off my list. So now let me read some comments, y'all, and I'm gonna get into these because I know I held y'all for a minute. We 50 minutes in here. Let me read some of these, y'all. I appreciate you guys' participation in the live stream tonight. And that was the tea for y'all. I know this was a long tea session, but I ain't never seen when they do that tea time in Britain, don't nobody take 2 sips and get up. They sit down and they conversate, all right? I ain't got no biscuits. I don't have any tea and biscuits, but I've got coffee. I'm drinking my coffee. I believe that's a rather terrible impersonation. Perhaps I need to go to the UK and spend a little more time over there. All right, so what we got here? Let's see where are we? Mariah said it feels like the rapture. It feels like rapture. Bella said, what are you going to say when she notices, even if she asks? Bella, I'm not even there. I'm not even there, Bella. I'm gonna let the spirit move me. I'm gonna let the spirit move me, and I'm gonna respond in love. Because sometimes people don't know till they know, and I'm not out here trying to conflict with anybody. I'm gonna try to present it in love. I am, because like I said, you don't throw away a 20-year partnership relationship because somebody messed up one time, And I know the manipulative energy. I've seen it before. Just not self-directed, but the thing with me is I give everybody space to be themselves, because I don't want nobody telling me how to be. I mean, like I said, I was 36 when I realized, when it hit me, that I upset myself a lot because I expected people to do things the way I did them. And the truth is, everybody's different and everybody's allowed to be themselves. So you can be yourself. You're free to be yourself, but don't assume that I don't see through what it is that you're going through or what you're trying to. If some of you listen, if some of y'all were professional astrologers, natal chart readers, and y'all saw my chart, y'all be like, nah, he ain't the one to try, y'all. I promise you, not him. Go try somebody else. Don't try him, y'all. Don't. So yeah. So don't think I'm not gonna see through it, because I am. I'm gonna see through it, and I'm either gonna see now or I'm gonna see later. But I'm gonna see in due time. If it's meant for me to see it, I'm gonna see it in due time. And usually, if you've shown it, it's meant for me to see it. That's how it is. So anyway, yeah. I don't know what I'm gonna say to her. I'm not even planning. I'm not planning that far ahead, Bella, because again, I want to present it in love. I'm sure it's gonna be some tears, not for me, but it is what it is. I ain't trying to, I want to continue on and be friends beyond this, but don't play me, because that's an insult. And if I roll with that and just act like nothing happened and still do what it is that you want me to do, then I'm not being true to myself. And not being true to myself is not being authentic. So, and if I'm not being authentic, I'm not going to reach the fullness of my destiny. And I'm trying to reach the fullness of my destiny. So there's the answer. Let's see. No, she said, one good thing about my former teaching is I was taught that there was some truth to the zodiac. That's good. That's good to know. That lets you know at least some people out there are not afraid to share the truth. Hot shot, you already know. Lenny. Complete and whole T said the Most High spoke to Abram through the stars. There was no book called the Bible. Amen to that. Thank you for sharing that. She know that, Lenny. Let's see. How do we avoid repeating our visit back here? Knocking your stuff out. Look, stuff out. Go, hotshot. Go and go to YouTube and type this in. Let's see how we're gonna do this. Just do a search on NDE. That stands for near-death experience. Watch some of those accounts of people that were clinically dead, and they're telling you about their life reviews. Or you can even do a search on life review and listen to these accounts. You cannot have this many different people all around the world who do not know each other that have their own different stories or accounts of what was told to them based on what they needed to do in their life, and yet have a similar theme to them. And this also was a part of that theme in the book, Many Lives, Many Masters. We're not, you hear these themes, it's like you got to, and again, the movie, y'all hear me push it all the time, Edge of Tomorrow by Tom Cruise. Not by Tom Cruise, he starred in it. The Edge of Tomorrow. I apply that movie to my life all the time. Okay? All the time. Listen, I've seen things in my life, even up to this day, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, I've been here before, and I know I messed up because I want to do the exact same thing that I know I did before that got me back here on this particular thing. So I came here to get it right. And your spirit guides even talk to you when you tapped in. When you tapped in and your channels are open, your spirit guides will talk to you and say, hey, this is the scenario that you created in the ether before you got here. You put certain framework in place so that you would not fail. Follow your framework. It's like writing a book, y'all. When I write, I follow a framework. I follow a framework, y'all. Any artist, artists, I hear people all the time. They say people that paint these murals. I look at these big murals and I'm like, how did they do that? And they got little, they believe it or not, they follow a framework. They use little smaller shapes, smaller patterns to build that big picture. They got an idea what that finished picture looks like, but they got to go through their progressions. Nobody just goes up there and splashes paint up there and has the finished picture unless they're an abstract artist. So, yeah, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. You got to go through your steps. And there's some good guided meditations out there. You can do some past life regression ones, or you could get a professional one done. There are professional hypnotherapists that do past life regressions. They got professional hypnotherapists that do between life regressions, and you know they can hypnotize you and help you to go deep within to figure out what that conversation looked like with regards to what it was that you came here to do. And the other part too is your natal chart. Your natal chart will show you what you came here to do. There's something called the soul contract reading that will also show you what you came here to do. Okay. And y'all, there's so many ways, numerology, there's so many different things. The bottom line, if you want to keep it basic, do a natal chart reading and operate in the energy that is you. Like, for example, I'm a 7. I'm getting ready to get into this, y'all. I know I've given y'all a nice drive through the neighborhood. Okay. I'm a 7th house Aries, and I'm going to hit that in a second. I realized that a lot of my failures early on in my life have been because I've been trying to act like my rising sign in my partnerships. I'm a Libra rising. Libra's about partnership. Libra's about equal, equality. It's about balance, that sort of thing. I'm a Libra rising. So in that 7th house, I'm an Aries. I'm not being myself if I'm not acting in that Aries energy in my 7th house partnerships. And that's like an epiphany I arrived at not long ago. I'm like, I've been messing up because I've not been being who I was created to be. So the easiest way to not have to repeat it is to be who you were created to be. How do you know who you were created to be? Look at your natal chart. That's your instruction manual. Everybody has one. Everybody has one. If you need help with that, boom, I'm right here. I got you. Email me. Now, so anyway, let me get on to these houses, y'all, and then I'm gonna give y'all the bonus, okay? Let me get on to these houses. All right. And these aren't, I'm not gonna put any timestamps in here because maybe if I do a timestamp, then I'll put one at I'll remember to look at 58 minutes. Hang on, let me write that down. I'll put one at 58 minutes, fam. Hang on. Let's do this. Give me 1 second. Let's make it 60 minutes. 60-minute mark. Start houses. And then I'll at least know where to go to. Okay. So let's go through these really quick, family. What can you expect? What energies are being activated in your life? What things are going to be revealed to you with this upcoming, and some of y'all are already feeling these, this upcoming solar eclipse, okay? So solar eclipse in Aries, new moon eclipse. Y'all know I normally do new moon manifestation videos. Tonight, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to skip it for this particular new moon cycle, but y'all can go back and look at some of my other new moon videos and just change the energy up. Y'all already know what it is. Y'all know what to do. I'll resume it in April when we get to the new moon in Taurus or whatever, later in the month of April or whatever. So, because we're in Aries now, so Taurus comes after Aries. So, if you have Aries in your first house, what can you expect? What energies are being activated? What's going to be revealed to you? Aries rules over the first house. It's also called the ascendant. It is the house of self. It is the house of appearances, how we appear. If you have Aries in your first house, this upcoming solar eclipse is going to reveal to you where you have not been showing up for yourself. It's going to reveal to you where you have not been acting in the boldness. Aries energy is about being bold. It's about being fearless. Okay. This eclipse is going to reveal to you where you've been a little bit shaky when it comes to self. It's going to show it to you, and it's going to force you in. Well, how does it do it, Matt? Okay. You're saying the eclipse is going to force it on me. How's it going to do it, Matt? Much like this situation with me, the situation that came out of the blue with this tennis thing. Y'all, I tell you, your life is divinely scripted. Y'all have to know that. Y'all have to know that. It can help you to get out of being in a perpetual bad mood. When you can say to yourself, wait a minute, my life is divinely scripted. So what am I supposed to learn from this? That's when everything is going to turn over for you. When you stop looking at when you stop saying, why is this happening to me? And start saying, what am I supposed to learn from this? This is happening for me. What am I supposed to learn from this? It shifts your energy immediately into a higher octave. You come out of that low guilt, shame, fear, sadness energy, and you come into this empowerment of, okay, I'm here to learn. What am I supposed to learn from this? So if you got Aries in your first house in this particular season, in this solar eclipse, it is going to force you to look at how you have not been showing up in your authentic self. It's going to force it on you. Okay. So what's going to be activated is a new boldness, a new courage in your appearance. Maybe some of y'all, and this is a theme we talked about a little bit in that Virgo full moon eclipse, where we were talking about things that we were releasing. A lot of this could be similar energy, meaning, hey, you know what? You Aries in the first house is about having a bold appearance, having a brave appearance, having a courageous appearance. Remember, the ram knocks anything down that's standing in its way. The ram is fearless. So maybe you've been timid when you should be fearless. So something perhaps is going to happen that forces you to be courageous, that forces you to stand up for yourself, that forces you to stand up for self. It may also force you, because the first house is a house of appearances, maybe now it's going to force you to be more bold with your appearance. I see this more with the ladies, so more so with the ladies than the fellas. But ladies, maybe there's a bold new look that you wanted, but you haven't been acting in that energy for different reasons. Maybe you're like, well, you know what, man, if I'm myself, they might not like me. Or if I'm myself, they might talk about me. Damn what somebody gonna say about you. Damn whether or not somebody like you. Be authentic. It's going to force you to be bold, to be courageous, and it's going to reveal to you how you have been appearing to yourself. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. No message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make that change. That's what Michael was talking about. I'm gonna make that change for once in my life. It's gonna feel real good. It's gonna make a difference. It's gonna make it right. That's your song right there. If you got Aries in the first house, y'all go check out that Michael Jackson song, Man in the Mirror. Okay? That's for you. That's for somebody. Second house. If you got Aries in your second house, I might end up doing this anyway, y'all, because I'm spending more time on these than I wanted to. 104:30. If you got Aries in the second house, okay? If you have Aries in your second house, this is going to force you, this is going to reveal to you where you have not taken a bold or courageous approach when it comes to your resources, when it comes to your money, when it comes to your finances. Okay? How have Aries rules over the house of self? So how have you been showing up? Will the real you stand up with regards to your finances? Will the real you stand up? Maybe that's what I should have named this video. Will the real you stand up? It's going to. Aries rules over the first house of self. Will the real you stand up? You're going to have to now. Aries is going to force you to do it. Eclipses are tower moments. The tower is divine intervention. The tower is the Most High stepping in and forcing you to do what it is that you need to do. Towers don't feel good. That death card energy is a lot better. It's hard to transform sometimes. It's hard to let go of those old ways, but it's always easier when you do it versus the universe stepping in and making you do it. I'm coming around to you. I'm coming around to you, Nikki. What's up? I'm coming around to you. We coming to that 11th house. So if you got Aries in your second house, it is going to reveal to you where you perhaps have not been authentic with regards to your finances, your resources, your money. Maybe it's going to force you to be bold. Maybe it's going to force you to make bold moves. With regards to second house is about acquisitions as well. Second house is the house of my stuff, my things. Maybe it's going to force you to take a long, hard look in the mirror with regards to how you manage your finances and to be bold, to be courageous. Something, I don't know. Listen, it's different for everybody. That's why I'm going through these houses. That does not resonate with me, but I'm not a second house Aries. Okay. So those are just some themes. Second house is about I have. Let me open up my cheat sheet here. Let me open up my cheat sheet. Hang on. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So third house. If you have Aries in your third house, 106, 107. I said I wasn't going to do timestamps, y'all, but y'all know I love y'all so much. I go back on my word a lot when it comes to y'all, man. I do. Okay. So if you got Aries in your third house, Aries is you're going to have a tower moment with regards to how you show up for yourself in communications, in your communication. Third house is the house of communication. How are you showing up? How are you showing up with regards to your communication with others? The conversations you have with yourself, even though sometimes, well, it's conscious, your conscious conversations, what's coming out of your mouth about yourself even? And how are you appearing to others with regards to your communication? Aries rules over the first house of appearances, and the third house is about communication. Have you been shy and timid? The universe is going to force you to come out of that if you have Aries in your third house. This eclipse is going to shock you into using your voice if you are third house Aries. Okay? Some people say, Matt, why don't you go by the rising sign? Well, it's because some people have a sign that crosses two house cusps. It's called having intercepted houses as well. My chart looks like that. That's if you use the Placidus system. Some people use whole sign. Some people use equal sign. Some people use whole house or equal house, whole sign, whatever. I don't do that. I like to stick with the Placidus because that's just my preference. Okay. If this Placidus system says I don't have an equal 12 houses, then look up the meaning of intercepted houses. There's something that you came back here to do that the universe is forcing you to do. I don't mind sharing this. If you look at my Placidus system, you don't see Leo anywhere in any of the houses. That's because it's intercepted in my 10th house. So when y'all see me on this public platform, the Leo energy comes through along with the Cancer energy. Wow, he's so nurturing, but you get that Leo too. You know what that means? That means Matt was maybe too shy to stand in that Leo energy in a previous lifetime. So now they forced it on me. It's a lifetime eclipse, all right? So that's for the people that wonder, why I don't say the rising sign, because if I just went by the rising sign, then I might miss somebody that's looking at the Placidus system that has intercepted houses, or a sign that covers two different house cusps, okay? Adjacent house cusps, okay? Now, let me get on back to that. So that was Aries in the third house. If you got Aries in your third house, the universe is going to step in and force you to be bold with your communication. It's going to force you to be courageous. It's going to force you to stand up and speak for yourself. Okay? What's going to be revealed to you? What's going to be revealed to you is how you have not been speaking up for yourself. It's going to reveal it to you. Solar eclipses are about revelations, showing you things that were perhaps hidden. That's why a lot of stuff is coming to light with this solar eclipse as well. It's a lot of war energy out there too. I ain't gonna talk about that right now. I'm gonna save that for another video. I had something I was gonna put in this one, and Spirit said, nah, don't muddy it. Don't muddy it. Keep that one separate. So I'm gonna keep that one separate, but that one's gonna blow y'all mind too. I appreciate y'all coming on these lives because the stuff I drop on here sometimes is like, whew. Anyway, so that was the third house. If you have Aries in your fourth house, Aries is going to reveal to you where you perhaps have not stood in your truest self energy in the area of home, in the area of family, in the area of your emotions. Maybe during this eclipse, something's going to happen that forces you to come out of that shell and forces the ram out. Forces that ram out. Aries is also conflict energy. So a lot of these eclipse activations are going to be around conflict. Just like I just shared my story with y'all with the tennis thing. It was mild, but that was still conflict energy. That was a conflict. That was a real conflict that needed to get settled. And it forced me to look at how I show up for myself in partnerships. I'm getting to that. So if you got Aries in your fourth house, what energy is being activated in your life? The energy of being bold and fearless with regards to showing your emotions. Aries is Aries rules over the first house, which is about appearances. So it's going to force you to be bold and show your hand when it comes to your emotions. It's going to force you to stand up and be a leader in your family. Aries is a cardinal sign, and it's a cardinal fire sign. Fire signs are about action. For those in my tarot community, the fire cards are the wands. Wands are about activity. It's about sparking activity. Okay? Wands are about activity. So when you got Aries in that fourth house, this eclipse, did I put that 4 in there? I bet you I ain't put that 4 in there. I'll go back in there and get it. I didn't put it in there. It's cool. This eclipse is going to show you where you have not been showing up for yourself in your family, in your home, and with your emotions. Okay? Something's going to happen. Something's going to happen that forces you into it. Solar eclipses are like all eclipses are tower cards. All eclipses are tower moments. They force change on us because they push us through a portal that we're going to go through anyway. Everything's divinely scripted. Everything is divinely scripted. All right? If you're alive during an eclipse, you're going to change. Whether you like it or not, you are going to change. Now, so that's Aries in the fourth house. If you have Aries in the fifth house, let's see. Come on, stop, Matt. This thing is sensitive. Let's say 112. Let's just say 113. I'll go in there and fix it. 113. Let's 5. Okay. If you have Aries in your fifth house is house of activation. It is the number 5 itself is the number of activation. It's a number of change. It's a number of activation. And tarot, it's a conflict card. Okay. 5 energy is conflict card. But let's deal with what the fifth house deals with. The fifth house deals with creativity. It is ruled by Leo. It deals with creativity. It deals with confidence. Solar plexus energy. That fifth house rules over your solar plexus chakra. Okay. That 5 is powerful. So what are some themes? It is going to force you. It is going to reveal to you where you've not been showing up for yourself in the area of your creativity. Perhaps, how have you been showing up with regards to your creative energy? Maybe you've been a little bit shy. Maybe you've been a little bit bashful. Maybe you've been like, oh, you know what? I'm a budding artist, but I don't want them to see that. Maybe I don't want to show them that. Something is going to happen that forces you to show your hand, to show who you are. Aries is the ram. It's going to force you into that energy. It's also about competition. Okay, competition. This is kind of a little bit of a milder when you look at all of them. This one's a little bit milder because that's a fire sign too. So it's a little bit less harsh if you ask me. I'm just being honest. But fifth house is the house of creativity too. So it could be, about anything that you would create. And children is a fifth house function too. So I ain't saying nothing, but if some of y'all ain't trying to have no kids and you got Aries in the fifth house, and you're supposed to have them, Aries could force you into this eclipse could bring about a situation that brings about those children that you think that you didn't want to have. Why do I say that? I know plenty of people that said that they didn't want to have children and they ended up pregnant. Okay, I know plenty of people. I know plenty of guys who's like, man, I ain't ready to be a father, and then they found out their pullout game was weak. The same for the kids. Sorry, some kids watching. Don't you don't know what that means? Parents, whatever. You had that birds and bees talk with them later. But that's fifth house energy. Okay, so it has to deal with your passions as well. So anything that your internal passions, things that you feel passionate about, things that you've always wanted to do, something that you wanted to create, something that you wanted to bring into light. Fifth house is ruled by the sun. So solar eclipse in the house that's ruled by the sun is actually, that's kind of auspicious. That's good energy. This is why I can't really say anything that's too heavy. This is probably the mildest placement, is to have a solar eclipse in your fifth house. Okay, so if you got Aries in the fifth house, this is a little bit milder than some of those other placements, but it is going to reveal to you where you have not been true and authentic, where you've not been true and authentic when it comes to your creativity, when it comes to your passions, when it comes to romance even. Okay, maybe some of y'all have been bashful about that. Maybe the universe is going to bring somebody into cross path with you that you just going to fall in love with. You're going to be like, where did this person come from? That's a possibility. That is, I'm just giving you some possibilities, okay? So y'all go look up fifth house and see what some of those fifth house functions are. And these are areas where it's going to be revealed to you where you have not been showing up, and it's going to activate that fifth house of passion, romance, creativity, children, that sort of thing. It's going to be activated by this solar eclipse, okay? That's Aries in the fifth. If you have Aries in your sixth house, okay? Let's see, where are we? 116, let's say 45. 16, 45. If you have Aries in your sixth house, that's the house of, that's that work, that's that hustle, that's that Virgo energy. That is your daily tasks. That is your how you're analytical. It's also about your health. Okay, the sixth house rules over your health. It rules over your daily tasks, how you work. Okay, your it's not to be mistaken with that Capricorn 10th house energy, which is strategic. Like this is career. This is my life path with regards to my life's work, or this career, this new career opportunity I want. If you will, the 10th house is the job that you have. The sixth house is how you do that job. That's the best analogy I can give y'all. For those of y'all that want to understand that difference between that Capricorn energy and that Virgo energy. That Capricorn energy is about, hey, that's what I'm trying to achieve. That's what I'm trying to accomplish it. That's what I'm trying to accomplish. The Virgo energy is about, this is how I'm going to accomplish it. This is how I'm going to do these daily tasks right here. These are the steps to get me there. That's more of that Virgo energy. Capricorn is about steps too. Capricorn plans. Don't get it wrong, okay? But Capricorn in military terms is about the strategy. In military terms, Virgo in sixth house energy is about the tactics, okay? So what does this mean with this eclipse? If you got Virgo in your sixth house, I can speak to it myself. Not Virgo, sorry. Aries in your sixth house. If you have Aries in your sixth house, the sixth house is also ruled by Mercury as well. So it could have to deal with communication as well. That's just another little subset there, okay? Because the ruling planet for the sixth house naturally is Mercury. Virgo's ruled by Virgo, and Virgo's ruled by Mercury. So it could have to deal with communication, some of those themes as well. But overall, look at themes like health. How have you not been showing up for yourself? How have you not been taking care of your health? It may force something on you. It could be some news from a doctor's office. Look, I told y'all I'm going to be transparent tonight. I'm not going to be too transparent, but I'm going to share this part. I recently had a physical. My physical was phenomenal. The doctor was like, wow, all your numbers look phenomenal, except for one. And I looked at it and I was like, okay, let me go do some research on that. He's like, yeah, he said, I want you to follow up with me in about a month or two. And, we'll look at that again. But, I'm, as somebody who went through the C word back in 2010 to 2011, I'm very particular about my health. And I already know when I'm slipping. I know when I'm slipping. But when he told me what that number was, immediately I knew what it was. And I went and verified that by getting some more research on the side, and has everything to deal with the stress levels. So guess what this eclipse has done for me? I'm using myself for example. I got Aries in the 6th house and Aries in the 7th house. I just told y'all, sometimes if you're using the Placidus system, you might have a sign that crosses two cusps. Okay, so I got Aries in the 6th and the 7th. So you know what? This eclipse has delivered news to me that forced me to look at how I've been managing my own health. And you know what Matt's been doing? Matt's been running around trying to do too much. Again, that 6th house is the house of daily tasks as well. It's our daily tasks, our grind. It's also health. Do you know that your health is directly related to your grind? If you're not balancing that grind and everything like that, it could affect your health adversely. So Matt's like, okay, I got to retool now. I got to look at everything I'm doing differently. I got to get back to what I was doing when I was in my tip-top condition. So if you got Aries in your 6th house, you may, this eclipse is going to activate your house of health. It's also going to activate your house of daily tasks. I've done those two things in one. Why? Because both of them are in the 6th house. I've restructured how I look at, because the 6th house is ruled by Virgo, so it's about service. You know what Matt's been doing? Matt's been serving too many people. I've been serving too many people, y'all. I hope I ain't got family members watching this that's taking it personal. Matt about to scale back a little bit. It's related, that number that doctor gave me is directly related to stress levels. I'm like, all right, I know how to bring my stress levels down. Some of y'all just gonna have to get told no. Some of y'all just gonna have to get told no. And for any of my Virgos out here watching, yeah, I know that we talking about Aries, but Virgo, y'all know, Virgo be trying to help everybody they care about. If Virgo don't care about you, they don't care about you. It's an earth sign, right? If Virgo don't care about you, they don't care about you. But when that Virgo energy cares about somebody, Virgo wants to help everybody the best they can. So with me having Aries in the 6th house, y'all, I've been going too hard. But this eclipse right now has activated my 6th house. So guess what? That ram is about standing up for itself. So what was revealed in that 6th house for me, I'm using myself for example, y'all can glean from this. It's revealed to me that, Matt, you have not been taking care of yourself and you've not been standing up for yourself when it comes to your daily tasks, when it comes to your service to others, which has directly affected your health. That's Aries in the 6th house. If you got Aries in the 6th house, this eclipse is going to reveal to you where you have not been showing up for yourself with regards to your health, and when you've perhaps been doing too much, when you've not been showing up for yourself with your daily tasks. Matt has got to tell people that he loves no. He's got to tell people that he loves no, I'm sorry, I can't do it this time. You're going to have to find somebody else. And you know what we find, y'all? You know what we find, especially those of us who just love on people. I got a lot of moon energy in my chart. I got a Cancer South Node. I got a Cancer moon. Okay. Cancer loves showing up for their people. They love it. They love it, y'all. I'm a 10th house Cancer, so I do it in the public as well. All right. So that's the challenge. But you know what? What we find out is when we tell people no, there's somebody else waiting to help them. So y'all, some of us, we got to stop trying to play God. I've had that advice told to me so many times. Matt, stop trying to be God. Matt, stop trying to be Jesus. You ain't Jesus didn't help everybody. Matt, why are you trying to do it? I'm like, damn, you know what? That's kind of true. All right. That's all I needed to hear was that one number. Now I was happy to hear that all my other numbers were phenomenal, but that one could be cause for concern if I don't attack it. And y'all know what these look. I don't care if you big pharma watching this. Y'all need to, well, I ain't gonna tell y'all need to get y'all together because the universe getting ready to make y'all, universe getting ready to shake a whole lot of tears out. It's gonna separate the wheat from the tares. Big pharma, y'all in the tares bucket. Go read Matthew chapter, 6, somewhere around in there. Whatever that parable of the wheat and tares is. That's your preview of what's gonna happen to you. Yeah, I'm talking to big pharma. Treating the symptom instead of the whole. But y'all ain't hear that from me. Let me stop. I ain't trying to get my channel smacked. They know how I feel about them. I spent too much time on that one, y'all. Let me move to the 7th house. If you let's see, 124, 15. If you have Aries in your 7th house, this eclipse is about to reveal to you where you've not been showing up for yourself in your partnerships. I just gave y'all a long, lengthy example in part 1, in act 1 of the playbill. It's going to show you where you've not been showing up for yourself in your partnerships. And what's it going to do? It's going to activate your house of partnership. You might make some of your partnerships Some of your partnerships might look at you like, who is this person? Who is this guy? I don't know this guy. Is this the new you? Is this the new you? It is going to reveal to you where you have not been showing up for yourself in partnerships. And guess what's going to happen next? It may come in the form of conflict that forces you to lower your head and be that ram and say, you know what? This no longer serves me. Let me drop my head, sharpen them horns, and y'all ever see that mountain ram? Go look at that ram. Go look at some videos of them rams and see what they do. That ram like, nah, you got to get out of my way, man. I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to get there, and you're in the way. So if you ain't gonna get out of the way, I'm knocking you down. That's that ram energy, y'all. So it's going to show you how you've not been showing up for yourself in partnerships. It's going to activate your 7th house of partnership, and that could be any type of partnership. It could be a team, a partnership on a team. It could be a partnership in a career. It could be a business partnership. It could be a relationship. It could be a marriage. It could be a romantic partner. Any of that. If you got Aries in your 7th house, it's going to show you where you've not been standing up for yourself, and it's going to force you to stand up for yourself. Eclipses change us. Eclipses force us into change. And guess what? When you change, there's no going back. There's no going back. When you try to go back, it's not going to feel right. Eclipses are doors that open. We're ushered through them. You don't get to stand there and say, I don't think I want to go in there. You don't get to do that. You get forced into it. You get pushed into that door. You get shoved. When you turn around like that, boom, the door's closed. How do you show up in partnerships for yourself? That's the sunlight that's going to get revealed to you with this eclipse, and it's going to force you to stand up for yourself. Something's going to happen. It happened for me. It happened for me. And that's just one example I gave y'all. But I've been forced to look at how I show up in these partnerships with having Aries in my 7th house. If you're a Libra rising, you absolutely have Aries in your 7th house. You may not have it in the 6th house like me. I've got intercepted houses, okay? But you absolutely have it in your 7th house if you're a Libra rising. So there you go. There you go for those of you that want a rising sign. If you're a Libra rising, you got Aries in your 7th house. This eclipse is going to force you to stand up for yourself. It's going to make you take a look at yourself, how you've been appearing in these partnerships, these relationships, and it's going to force you to change. Let's see, 127, let's say 127.30. See, y'all, I spoil y'all, man. I spoil everybody I love. I told you I wasn't going to do no timestamps. The timestamps are coming. They're coming. They're coming. If you have Aries in your 8th house, if you have Aries in your 8th house, what's the 8th house? The 8th house is the house of transformation. It is also the house of intimacy, among other things. Those are the two biggest themes. It's also the house of taxes. It's also the house of inheritance. I'm not dealing with those. I don't want to call them lesser themes, but they're the themes. Not everybody sees inheritances. Okay, different people have different levels of how they deal with taxes and stuff like that. Though that's 8th house energy as well. I want to deal with the two biggest themes, which are your intimacy and your transformation. Transformation is the biggest one. 8th house is ruled by Scorpio. That is the energy of transformation. Okay. Scorpio has co-rulers. It's Mars and Pluto. I prefer to look at Pluto as the primary. I prefer to look at it as primary. Why? Because Pluto is more of that feminine energy. Mars is more of that masculine energy. So you got both of them there. But you know, when you're talking about Aries, I like to apply more Mars to Aries. But Mars is also absolutely ruler of the 8th house as well. Because in traditional astrology, there was no Pluto, so you had Mars ruling the 8th house. That's why people with 8th house energy or Scorpio energy, they have Mars energy and Pluto. Scorpios are feisty. They will fight, but they're also very transformative. The fighting comes from Mars. The alchemy comes from Pluto. Okay, so if you have Aries in your 8th house, it's going to force you to look at perhaps ways that you've been refusing to transform. I don't want to change. I like who I am. Or maybe the truth is you don't like who you are, but maybe you're afraid to change. This solar eclipse, and you're probably already feeling the energies because, like I said, you start to feel little energies of that eclipse maybe 10 days out. Okay? Maybe 10 days on opposite sides. 10 days before, 10 days after. I started feeling these energies last week, y'all. So if you have Aries in your 8th house, it is going to force you, is going to reveal to you how you've not been showing up for yourself with regards to intimacy. Maybe you've had maybe with regards to intimate partners or intimate partnerships or that sort of thing, maybe you've not been showing up for yourself. Y'all know the Scorpio energy is very sacrificing. Okay, it is very. Think about this for a minute. Scorpio shares an axis with Taurus. Taurus is the #1 sign for self-care. Taurus like, look, I don't need none of y'all. I'll give you something if I want to give you something. I rule over the house of material possessions, the house of acquisitions, the house of my stuff. I'll share my stuff with you if I feel like it. That's Taurus energy. Scorpio energy is like, let me share. Let me sacrifice. Sacrifice goes with the Scorpio energy. Self-preservation goes with the Taurus energy. That's that axis. So if you got a house that's ruled by Scorpio, the 8th house, if you got Aries, if you got a solar eclipse in Aries in that 8th house, and you got Aries in that 8th house, it's going to force you perhaps to look at ways where, again, Aries rules over the 1st house, which is the house itself. So you got a little bit of a conflict there. You got the energy of sacrifice being eclipsed by the energy of self. So it is going to force you to look at ways where perhaps you have been too sacrificing. It is also more important than the too sacrificing with perhaps with regards to intimacy. Maybe you've been intimate with somebody that didn't deserve it, but you were like, well, I'll do this for the good of whatever. No, this is going to force you to change. Something's going to happen that forces you to look at how you've been showing up for yourself with regards to intimacy. And that's tough because Scorpio wants to sacrifice. Now, the other energy, the bigger energy to me is the transformation. What did I tell y'all? Using tarot, the death card is the card of self-transformation. I choose to transform. When that death card's reversed, I choose not to transform. It's going to lead to that tower. You're going to transform. There's one of two ways you can do it. Both of those cards in tarot are Scorpio energy. Card number 13, Major Arcana number 13, and Major Arcana number 16. Both of those are, is that 16? Is that right? That's the tower, 16? Yeah. Y'all hit me up. I want to make sure I'm right. I think that's 16 card is tower. But anyway, yeah, it's going to force you to change. That lightning bolt. Eclipses are that lightning bolt coming out of the cloud. What does that lightning bolt coming out of the cloud represent? Or that fire coming out of the cloud represent on that tarot card? Divine intervention. The will of the divine intervening and forcing you into the energy that you need to be in because you don't want to change. So Aries in that 8th house, something is going to happen that is, some situation is going to arise. This eclipse is going to activate that 8th house. It's going to make you stand up for yourself with regards to intimacy, and it's going to force you to transform. That's Aries in the 8th house. That's Aries in the 8th house. Aries energy is about what's good for me. That's the 1st house energy. What's good for me? That's a little bit of Taurian energy too, but the 1st house is the house of self, and it's also the house of appearances. Okay, so that's Aries in the 8th. All right, let's see, 133, let's say 20. If you have Aries in your 9th house, the 9th house, I love the 9th house, y'all. I love the 9th house. I learn more about the 9th house every day. Why? Because the 9th house is about expansiveness. It's about expansiveness. It's about freedom. It's ruled by Sagittarius. It's about higher knowledge. It's about wisdom. It's about travel. Those are some themes with the 9th house. It's about teaching. 3rd house is about learning. 9th house is about teaching. But let's deal with just a couple of themes. If you have Aries sitting in your 9th house, the biggest theme is it is going to force you to look at ways that you've allowed yourself to be confined when you should be free. It's going to force you into the energy of freedom and expansion. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Because if you have Aries in the 9th house, that ram wants to get out. It wants to get out and run. But perhaps you've been confining yourself. Perhaps you have wanted to travel for whatever reason. It's also the house of religion. It's the house of religion, also the house of spirituality, more in the religious sense than the Piscean or more in the religious sense than in the water sign sense, like that you would have with Pisces 12th house, Scorpio 8th house, or Cancer 4th house. But still, you know, Something, it's going to force you to look at, am I allowing myself to be confined when I want to be free? It's going to make you look up, take a long, hard look in the mirror. It's going to challenge you and force you into the energy of freedom. And let me tell you something. I already don't like how that sounds, because it can't feel good, but the result's going to be good. Remember, all things work together for the good of them who love the Lord, or this, which was the old scripture before the Mandela effect. Now it says that for them that love God. That's Mandela effect, real talk. When I was a kid reading that scripture said, for we know that all things work together for the good of them that love the Lord, who are called according to his purpose. Now it says love God. Let me double check that. I think that's Romans 8:28. I think that's Romans 8:28. Let's see. Romans. Thank y'all for being here tonight. I really appreciate you guys. Anytime I have an opportunity to come on here and share with you guys and learn from you, it is a treat for me, and I hope it's a treat for you. Romans 8, let's see, and 28. Yes, and we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are called according to his purpose. That used to say the Lord, and then this Mandela effect, y'all. It's crazy. It's crazy how that works. But anyway, yeah, so everything ultimately works to your good when you are chosen. Everything ultimately works to your good. When you have a divine purpose, it's going to work to your good. But let me tell you something. Any tower moment that forces you to enter the energy of freedom, that can't sound good. But ultimately, it's going to be good for you, because that soul wanted to be free anyway. That Aries, that Ram, wants to get out there and roam. It wants to explore. It wants to expand. The natural ninth house ruler is Jupiter. Okay, Jupiter is the planet of expansion. It's the planet of freedom. It's the planet of gifts too. It's a planet of abundance. Maybe this eclipse is going to be a good thing, because maybe it's going to force your abundance onto you. So that could be a good thing, y'all. If you got Aries in your ninth house, maybe this eclipse is going to activate your abundance for yourself. Maybe you've been giving all your stuff away. Maybe it's going to shower you with blessings. Jupiter's about gifts. So that's that ninth house, natural ninth house ruler. So the other thing is, maybe it's going to force you into operating in your gifts. Remember, where we're gifted also comes from our Jupiter placement. Jupiter is the ruler of the ninth house naturally. Okay. So for example, I'm a Jupiter in Capricorn. I'm a gifted problem solver. I know that. Like, problem solving comes, I'm not saying all problems are easy, but I've yet, and I'm not bragging, this is just a gift, all praises to the Most High, I've not yet been met with a problem that I couldn't solve. Sooner or later, it's going to get solved. My Jupiter is in the sign of the achiever and problem solver, Capricorn. I don't know why they say that's a debilitated position. I think it's a great position to have. Jupiter is where your gifts live. So maybe if you have Aries in the ninth house, it's going to reveal to you where you have not been operating in your gifts. And it's going to force you, it's going to activate that ninth house, which activates whatever gifts you are. You got Aries in the ninth house, go look at your Jupiter placement. Go look at your Jupiter placement and see what sign you got there. You probably going to get active. Them gifts are probably going to go, they probably going to get a boost, an energy boost. Like Miss Pac-Man and Pac-Man is probably going to eat a power pill and go and eat up everything in the way. All right. That's Jupiter in the, that is if you have Aries in your ninth house. If you have Aries in your 10th house, 30. If you got Aries in your 10th house, your career is going to be activated. How you show up in the public. It's going to reveal to you, something about the way you appear, the way you show up in your career, perhaps your job. And something is going to force you, is going to activate. Maybe you've been holding back on something that it is that you're supposed to do. Aries is the ram. Aries is courageous. Aries is bold. Aries is fearless. Maybe you've been fearful about making a career change. If you've been fearful about making a career change, this eclipse is going to activate something that forces you into that career change that your higher self truly desires. It ain't about our lower self. Our lower self holds us back sometimes, but your higher self got the whole script. That's why I tell y'all all the time, the game here, y'all, is to be born, forget who you are, and come back into the knowledge of who you are and operate in the energy of your higher self. When you operate in the energy of your higher self, incarnate, that puts you in God mode. Literally. Go read Psalms 82 and 6. Go read Psalms 82 and 6. Let's look at it. By the way, for those of y'all watching this new, don't call me Christian. Don't call me religious. I'm neither. The Bible's not a religious book. It is a spiritual book. The Bible and the ancient texts from which it was derived are spiritual in nature, not religious. They were hijacked by the religious establishment and redoctored into the doctrine of control. I say that all the time. You ain't got to be religious to read this book and understand it. Psalms 82 and 6. I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. So the game is to come here and remember who you are. When you remember who you are and you come into alignment with your higher self, there's nothing that's kept away from you. You are now in full communication with the higher version of yourself, and you are literally walking this earth as your higher self. You have complete access to the divine script for your life. And then there's no way you can't beat the game. Okay? So if you have Aries sitting in your 10th house, it's going to make you look at how you show up in your career. What's the real you? Will the real you stand up? Will the real you stand up? It's going to force you into the energy of boldness and courage with regards to your career. If you've been holding back or afraid to make a career move, something's going to happen. It's going to force you into it. I hope it's not painful. I hope it's not somebody getting let go from a job. But if that's what it's going to take, the universe is going to do that. Eclipses are tower moments. They activate that 10th house. If you've been refusing to make a move in that 10th house, it's going to force you to do it. All right? That's Aries in the 10th. Aries in the 11th. I hope you're still hanging with me there, Nikki. I hope you're still hanging with me there. Aries in the 11th. Okay? If you have Aries in the 11th house, what's the 11th house about? The 11th house is about group activity. It's about groups. Who are we in groups? Who are we in the group setting? Okay? Friendships. How you show up in your friendships. How you show up in your groups. The groups where you, Aquarius is the sign of the servant as well. Remember, it sits opposite Leo. Leo is me energy. Y'all know Leos. You better not go to a picture and not get the Leo in the picture. You ain't gonna hear the end of it. Leo want to be in that picture. Aquarius is like, hey, yeah, I'll get in there if I need to, but here, Aquarius wants to hold the camera and take the picture for everybody. Okay, Leo want the picture. They want to be in the middle of the picture. I'm not saying Aquarius don't want to be in it, but if you ask an Aquarius or a Leo, hey, can you take this picture of us? Leo like, I want to be in the picture. Aquarius is like, yeah, I'll take it. That's the difference. Okay. Aquarius is also it is ruled by Uranus. It's about knowing. It's about knowledge. It is about innovation. It is about being ruled by Uranus. It's about being unconventional too. You often hear the term lovingly for me, but you often hear the term weirdo with regards to Aquarius energy. It's like, are they different? Or eccentric. Eccentric is another one. Okay. So maybe, again, Aries rules over the house of self. Maybe you've been afraid to be your real self because you don't want somebody calling you a weirdo, or you want somebody saying you're strange, or whatever. This eclipse in the sign of Aries, solar eclipse in the sign of Aries, is going to force you to look at how you show up to the world, how you show up in these groups, okay? How you show up in these different organizations that you may be a member of, okay? That Uranus, it's going to force you to be impulsive. Isn't the word I like to use. Impulsive. Well, Aries is impulsive. Aries energy can be impulsive, but when you're talking about sudden, unexpected, out of the blue activity, that's more Uranian, which Uranus rules over Aquarius. So Aquarius can come out of the blue, but Aquarius is the champion for humanity. So if you've been holding back, if you've been seeing people get done wrong, or you've been wanting to champion a cause, but you've been holding back, this eclipse is going to force you to see yourself. It's going to force you to look at yourself. It's in the sign of Aries. Aries is the sign of self. Okay. And it's going to force you to look at how you show up for others. It's going to force you to look at how you show up for others. Okay. And it's some situation is going to happen. You're going to be thrust into some situation where now you're pushed to the forefront and you have to end up championing something, a cause for others. Okay. Look, hey, let me pick on you for a minute, Nikki, if you're still on. Let me pick on you for a minute, okay? Nikki just dropped she just dropped a banger of a video, y'all, on her channel. Let me find that. Let me find that really quick, because I want to put that in the link. I'm gonna link that in this video. Give me 1 second, y'all. Hang on. Let me pull that up. She dropped a banger, and let me tell you something, Nikki. I can see that you're already been activated by this eclipse, and the eclipse is still a day and a half away. Hang on a second. When y'all watch this video, you're gonna know what I'm talking about. I told Nikki, I was like, yo, this is one of the best ones you ever dropped, okay? Her video title is, Are You Kidding? Your Life is About to Skyrocket, Highly Influential and Well Off. That is as Aquarian as Aquarius can get, y'all. This is your evidence that Aries forces you, that these eclipses forces you into these energies, okay? Aries is about self. How am I showing up? How am I showing up? If it's in the 11th house, how am I showing up for others? Let me drop this in here, y'all. I was like, whoa, boom, boom. There y'all go. Y'all check her last video out, man. Y'all check her last video out. I was so inspired by that. That's your example right there. That is your example right there. If Nikki got Aquarius in the 11th house, boom, there it is right there. There it is. There it is. So if you got Aquarius in your 11th house, this eclipse is going to show you yourself with regards to how you stand up for others. It's going to show you that. And it's also going to force you in. It's going to bring it out of you. It's going to bring that champion. It's going to bring that ram, that warrior. Aries is the warrior. So don't be surprised if you find yourself going to war for other people with this eclipse. It's activating your 11th house. That 11th house is the house of humanity. How we serve humanity lives in the 11th house. All right? How we serve humanity lives in the 11th house. 5th house sits opposite Leo. Leo is how I serve myself, how I serve my children. Leo's big on children. My brother will knock you. He will knock your head off over his children. All right? He will knock your head off over his children, and they're about grown. He don't care. He don't care. My mother, I'm a GAM. I'm a grown man, okay? My mother will go, let me tell you something. If my mother thought somebody was trying to come at me sideways, I feel sorry for them. My mother's senior citizen, she still don't play about none of her 6 children. She don't play about none of them. That's that Leo energy, okay? Aquarius, they're that same way for bigger groups, for humanity. I got a friend of mine I went to high school with. She works in food safety. She's a food safety biologist. She went into food safety because she's like, you know what? These food recalls and stuff like that, this stuff affects the greater population. I want to be a part of, I want to use my science background to make sure I keep people safe when it comes to the food that they put in their bellies. That's that Aquarius energy. So this eclipse is going to activate your 11th house of service to humanity. It's going to force you to look at how you show up for others. And it's going to force you to look at how, it's going to force you to look at yourself and how you show up for others. And it's going to activate, something's going to happen that forces you to be a champion for others. Okay. Hotshot says she's an Aquarius. There it is. There it is. There it is. Green Tamarine said mothers do not play. No, they don't. No, they don't. Okay. Oh, you just confirmed it. She said, can we get activated sooner? Bella, it's going to happen when it happens. It's going to happen when it happens. All right. So that was the 12th. And finally, let's do 148, 45. If you have if you have Aries sitting in your 12th house, y'all, that 12th house makes me stand up. It makes me take notice. Y'all know a lot of astrologers talk about a lot of the different themes with the 12th house. It's mental health, prisons, mental institutions, the subconscious, all of that, spirituality. My biggest thing on 12th house, for me personally, every astrologer has their favorite thing. My thing is that my favorite 12th house theme is that the 12th house is the bridge between heaven and earth. It is the bridge between the spirit realm and the physical realm. It is the bridge between the natural and the supernatural. Okay. It's ruled by Pisces. So it's all about intuition as well. Intuition and just knowing. Pisces are psychics. They are psychic. Of the 3 water signs, Cancers are the empaths. Scorpios are the seers. And Pisces placements are the knowers. They're psychic, okay? So if you have Aries sitting in your 7th and your 12th house, it is going to force you into your subconscious, believe it or not. It may bring themes about you up out of your subconscious and into the light. Remember, the sunlight is about revelations and seeing things clearly. The moon is like things a little bit more obscured. That's nighttime, it's dark. But that sunlight is about bringing things out into the open. So there may be things that come up out of your subconscious into your conscious mind. You may have some dreams that give you revelations if you have Aries in your 12th house. You may have dreams that give you revelations about yourself. If you have Aries, sitting in your 12th house, okay, it may force you to be more spiritual. It may force you. Aries is the energy of I am. It may force you to become more spiritual. Something may happen that triggers it may trigger that subconscious or that spiritual warrior. Okay, you may get communication from the other side about you. That your 12th house is going to be activated by, and that 12th house is, y'all, the 12th house are things that are unseen. It represents things that are unseen. So the 12th house a lot of times is undefined. It could be anything that comes up out of there. I love the 12th house. The 12th house is very mysterious. People think 8th house energy is about mystery too. Scorpionic energy is about mystery. That 12th house is about mystery as well. Neptune, that's water. The deeper you go in that water, the less you see. But what do I always say about these Piscean themes? What do I always say about these 12th house themes? Keep your vibrations high. Why? Because Neptune, which is the planetary ruler of the 12th house, is trickster energy as well. So if you've got Neptunian placements, if you've got 12th house placements, if you got Piscean placements, if you are vibrating low, Neptune's like, ha ha, finally I get to have some fun. It's going to trick you. Neptune love playing tricks on people that's in that deep dark water. That's where Neptune has his fun. When you high vibration on Neptune, like, man, I guess I gotta show him what's real. Get to have no fun today. Make Neptune mad. Make Neptune bored. Don't let Neptune laugh at you. That's that trickster energy when you're in that low vibrational energy. You got powerful, potent 12th house placements. You got to keep your vibrations high. So this solar eclipse in Aries is going to force you to look at how you are showing up with regards to your spirituality, with regards to your psychic abilities, perhaps. It may force you to begin using your clairs might be activated. Your clairsentience, your clairaudience, your clairvoyance. Your clairs may be activated by this eclipse. And once they're activated, they're turned on, baby. They're turned on and turned up. There is nothing more powerful than walking around with all your clairs firing. Claire, what's that one? Claire aliens, when you smell different energies and stuff. I can smell benevolent energies. I can smell malevolent energies. I smell them. Get your clairs up. It's going to force you to get your clairs up. Maybe you didn't, maybe if you got Aries in that 12th house, maybe you have gifts that you were afraid of that are powerful. Aries is about power as well. It's ruled by Mars. That's power. Maybe you have powerful spiritual gifts that you were afraid of. I don't want to tap. You know they're there, but you don't want to tap into them because you're afraid of them. This eclipse is going to activate them. It's going to force them out. That's a good thing. That's a good thing because gifts are not just for us. I did this in a gifts video I want to say it was 2017. It's one of the first videos on my YouTube channel. You can go in there and look at it. It's something about gifts. Maybe I'll put it in the link in the description box, or maybe I'll just put it in the chat real quick, y'all. Hang on a second. Maybe I'll just put it in the chat real quick. Let's go YouTube. Hang on real quick. I'll drop this in here real quick. Yeah, that's it. The importance of identifying and using your gifts. My beard was a lot blacker then. It had a little bit of salt in it. It's got more salt in it now than pepper, but it's all good. Or maybe it's an equal balance. I don't know. Let's drop that in here. So Dwight, you got Pisces in your 12th house, or are you just saying that you are a Pisces sun? I'm sorry, you got Aries. Okay, Allie says she got Aries in her 12th house. Look for it, Aries. I mean, look for it, Allie. Look for it. Okay, so that's it. That's all of the houses, y'all. And I there will be timestamps about an hour or so after this video is done. Let me read some comments, and then I'm gonna jump y'all into this bonus time. Okay, let's read some real quick. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. She said, Matt, you're so right. Authenticity is devotion. That is very true. That is very true. Service to self is the best example. Yep. Bella said, that's true. I got Aries in 6-2. I do gym and wellness, and then grind. It recently came to me, must do self first. Yeah, you got to take care of yourself. If you don't take care of yourself, Bella, you ain't here for nobody else. So what do they say on the plane? Secure your own oxygen mask. They say that all the time. And I should probably stop drinking this coffee because it's getting to be late, and that will probably keep me up till 3. Intermittent fasting. That's the theme I picked back up, Bella. Beauty, of course, said Aries will burn out. They don't know when to stop. Yeah. Aries, that's a lot of the cardinal placements, but it definitely, I often tell people Aries and Capricorn are very similar. Aries is a more impulsive Capricorn, and Capricorn is a more grounded Aries. That's how I like to look at those two signs. So you're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. What was I saying really quick? Intermittent fasting. That's the theme I just picked back up. I'm here to tell y'all, if you want to turn your situation around really quick, pick up intermittent fasting. And the longer you can do it, the better. The longer you can do it, better. I saw my biggest gains as far as personal wellness goes when I want to say it was December of 2018. No, November to December 2018. For about 6 weeks, I did intermittent fasting 6 days a week. And I ate between 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. and I didn't eat any more outside of that. Let me tell you something. Once you burn up the last little bit of food you got in your stomach, your body starts burning fat for fuel. Once it is burned through the fat for fuel, it starts burning up junk. You got any inflamed stuff, arthritis and stuff like that, inflammation, it's any inflamed tissue, it starts eating up that inflamed tissue. It burns it up as fuel. And then those are gains that stick around, because once it's gone, I noticed, check this out. 2 days into intermittent fasting this week, when I went to yoga, I didn't do anything different. I went to the yoga studio and she had us in some deep stretches, and I was like going further than I was before. I'm like, this has got to be the removal of the inflammation in the joints that was keeping me from going lower in some of these stretches or going wider in some of them, because I'm going here with ease. I'm like, how am I this much deeper? And all I did was this intermittent fasting. So that's a pro tip, y'all. Intermittent fasting. Find an interval that works for you. I tell people to maybe just eat during your peak hours and your off peak hours. I don't eat after sundown now. Maybe one day a week I'll cheat. Sunday's like my cheat day. Sunday's my cheat day, but Monday through Saturday, I don't eat before noon now, and I don't eat after sundown. And usually if I try to eat so much food that, around 4, 5, 6 o'clock, I don't even want nothing to eat. And then I know that once the sun goes down, I'm not eating anyway. There's nothing worse than going to bed with a stomach full of food. It really makes you restless at night. You want to get some good rest? Step 1 is make sure you go to bed without, don't eat and then go lay down. That's not a good look. It's not. So anyway, let me keep going. She said hero archetype can get you burned out too. That is true. That is true. If you think it's the right thing to do, it's a struggle. Yeah, I know. Bella said it sounds like for some of us, we started getting the eclipse realization sooner than the eclipse occurs. That's how it happens, Bella. Eclipse energies can be felt days, if not a week and some change before the eclipse event, and then days, if not a week after. So it's like, think about the moon. You got that waxing moon, you got the full moon, and then you got the waning moon. It's kind of the same way. That's how the cosmos moves. Is it me, or if I ever didn't try to change the tower, what's the next week? It happens different for different people. So yeah, Bella, but yeah, when you don't want to change, it's like, oh, you don't want to change? Especially if you're a chosen one. Especially if you're chosen, all right? And especially if you got 0-degree placements in your planets or your houses. Them 0-degree placements, they say a lot. They say a lot. What's up, Kimberly? Long time no see. Long time no see. I have Jupiter and Virgo in the first house. Okay. Jupiter and Virgo. Yeah, this is more about Aries. This is more about what house you have Aries in. If you have Virgo in the first house and you don't have any intercepted houses, then that's going to mean that you have Aries in your 8th house. You have Aries in your 8th house. So if you missed it, when I put the timestamps in there, go back to, actually, I think I started 8th house around 127, around the 1 hour and 27-minute mark. Go back and look at that. If you're Virgo rising, you have Aries in your 8th house. Okay, so let's see. Jupiter in Aries, I am blessed. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And that Jupiter is activated by this eclipse. Let's see. Aries in 6th, Jupiter in 6th. We know what means. Exactly. Okay, yeah, you got Aries in 8th house, so you saw it there. What's up, Nikki? Let's see. Notice Psalm 82 is a psalm of justice. When we learn who we are, we get in the North Node, justice in all areas. Yup. Yes, if you're talking about your video, Nikki, it was super inspiring. Thank you for dropping that. It really was. Oh, you just confirmed that we can get activated sooner. Yes. She said mothers do not play, and they do not. Hotshot is an Aquarius. Them Aquas don't play. My sister's an Aquarius. And Aquas love people. They love on everybody, y'all. That's the thing I love about Aquarius. Leo in the 12th. Of course. Yeah, you got Leo in your 12th. Yeah. With that being a Virgo rising. Allie's got Aries in the 12th. Okay. Let's see. Pisces, Sun. Yup. Agreed. Aries and Caps. Yep. Exactly. Clear aliens for the smells. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, you got it, Kimberly. So now, y'all, I'm caught up. What I'm gonna do now is take y'all to this bonus, because this is a treat. This is a treat I got for y'all. So let me go to my notes so I can see what timestamp I have to skip ahead to. I want y'all to see this. Where is it? Okay. So now let me begin by showing y'all. No. I'm gonna show y'all the pictures last. I copied the pictures over. I'm gonna show y'all those last. Let me begin by going to this video. All right, let's do this. All right, and since I'm showing this from my own channel, I don't have to worry about no copyright, nothing. That's the beauty. Okay. This is my own video I'm showing here. How about that, y'all? How about that? I ain't got to worry about the copyright cops. All right. Let's see what we got here, fam. Where is it? This is a video I dropped on December of last year. Where is it? The Ancients, Prophetic Visions. All right. Let me do this. Y'all, I've been sitting there with that mic on the Omni the whole time. I'm mad because it sounds better on cardioid. I'm so mad. It's all good. Y'all heard me. It's all good. I do not like that. Anyway, all right, Matt. Y'all, I'm sorry. Y'all. Let me cover my face here. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't like people to see that side of me, but I get very nitpicky about stuff like that. It's that little bit of perfectionist. That's just, y'all. I'm the dude where in school, if I got anything south of a 93 on a test, I was mad. Like if I got a 92, I was mad. I was like, man, I could have gotten if I got a 91, I was mad. People be like, you got a 91, man. I got an 87. What you mad about? Yeah, it just is what it is, y'all. If I didn't get an A on a writing assignment, that way, well, first of all, very seldom did I not get an A on a writing assignment. But if I didn't, it wasn't me. It's my teacher. I'm like, oh, you being nitpicky. Okay. Anyway, I write your life. Don't play with me. I write your life, Mr. Ain't gonna say no names. Mr. Such and Such. Let's do that. All right, let me skip ahead to the hang on, to the time marker, and I'm gonna show y'all this video. Y'all are mad I didn't have that thing with cardioid, man. Ugh. All right, man, don't be. Anyway, I ain't gonna say it. Where's my time marker? Okay, so let me skip ahead and I'm gonna preview this for y'all, and I'm gonna show y'all this video, and I want to hear y'all thoughts on it, and then we're gonna get out of here, fam. 44. Let's go 44, 56. All right, I'm gonna pause it right there. Now, let me set it up for y'all. So y'all know, back in December, I shared with you guys something I called what I thought was a prophetic dream. I said dream, but I couldn't really tell if it was a dream or a vision or an astral trip, because to be honest with you, I'm gonna turn this light off, y'all. It's getting a little bright. Got overhead light. All right, so to be honest with you guys, you know what? I like the light on better. Sorry. Turn that light off instantly put me in like sleepy mode. I started getting sleepy. I can't do that on here. All right, lights back on. I'm back at work. So remember I had this, I told y'all about this dream slash vision slash astral trip to ancient Kemet. And I was detailing to y'all who this queen was that I met and how beautiful this palace was and how I felt like I was between worlds because I had ancient Roman soldier garb on, but I had an iPhone in my pocket. And I was nervous because I wanted to like video the inside of this palace and show it to bring it back and show it like bring it back to reality and show it to all my, I'm literally in there with my phone, y'all. And I'm like, that's my little dog on the front of there. You know, I ain't gonna call him an Ewok, but he looks like an Ewok sometimes. But that's my dude. He don't play about me. He don't play about me. But anyway, yeah, y'all. So like, okay, yeah. So I'm like with this phone, and I'm like, do I want to pull this phone out of this little belt here? Well, they're gonna see me filming. What they gonna say? So I didn't have the phone in there. But anyway, I was telling y'all what was going on in this dream, and I was telling y'all about how this queen was not happy with, you know, with Rome, and why I was there as a Roman soldier. I was there as an ambassador from Rome, and there with. All right, so I kind of set that up for y'all. I'm gonna go ahead. I don't want to replay the entire dream. Y'all don't need all of the early part details. If you want to see it, I will. I'll drop. Here's a link right here, and maybe I'll put a link in the description box as well. But this is I'll put the link in there. This was for those of y'all that did see that live stream. Oh, okay. Thank you, Beauty of Core. Thank you. So that's the original video, but I'm going to skip ahead and I'm going to show about 14 minutes of about 13 minutes or so of this video. Okay. I want y'all to see this. And then when y'all see what I'm about to show you, these photos I copied from my phone over to this computer. Y'all gonna see what I'm talking about. Y'all gonna see what I'm talking about. Like, this is bonus time now. This is bonus time. And what did I say in the what did I say here? Let me look at what I said. This is gonna blow y'all mind. Bonus, this was not a dream, it was a foreshadowing. Revisiting a dream or vision from December of 2024. Without further ado, let me go ahead and bring y'all in on this. It's gonna blow your mind, man. It's gonna blow your mind, fam. It's gonna blow your mind. Here we go. All right, let me make sure the volume's up. And let's hit play. I'm just going to start it right here. And I'm going to run from where it is now to about 58 minutes here. Well, at least it wasn't one of us. It was Matt, right? But the Most High always send you a trick, right? Most High always be like, yeah, you don't even know why I'm sending him. So I get down here, y'all, and I meet the ruler. And I'm at this beautiful place. Again, it was beautiful, y'all. Anybody, listen, if you're looking at modern Egypt, for the people that like to go over there and do, you know, do the tourist thing, I promise you it didn't look brown like that. It looked nothing like that. I've told y'all this before, just on common sense and understanding what happens with prophecy. What did Most High said? He said he's going to shut the rain off. That whole area used to be lush. That whole area used to be lush. Okay, it's brown because how long does how many years of no or little rainfall do you have to get before everything turns brown and then turns into dust and sand? Right. That whole place used to be lush. So I get there and I find out, and y'all know how these things work, right? First of all, I've never been there before in that lifetime, in that time realm. I've never been to that place before. But I get there and all of a sudden it starts feeling familiar. And it's like, I know I've been here before. But you know, I got my little crew with me. We're not big. We ain't rolling up in there deep. I got like maybe a small 10-man squad with me or whatever. We came, they knew we were coming. They had sent word that Rome was sending an ambassador and an emissary. Now here's what they sent me for, y'all. Check this out. Here's the part. Because this is, wait till I get to the end, y'all. And where I'm summarizing this and telling you what the interpretation of this is. This is the part. They're sending me to return some gigantic, bejeweled, freaking marble, mahogany, like it was just all of this precious wood and stone, this gigantic column that they had stolen years ago when they came through there with their troops. They stole this artifact decades before, maybe even centuries. I don't know what the time frame was that it had been stolen. I just know that it was in Rome, and the Romans, as a goodwill gesture, wanted to return it to the new queen of Egypt, or Kemet, however you want to say it.
And so they sent Matt with that detail. So I had some soldiers with me, and we had some workers, and we had to go. They brought it in on a barge. And funny, I just showed y'all that picture or whatever, that little factory view. They brought it in on a barge. We offloaded it, and we brought it to the palace. And you know, it was back off on the cart or whatever, back off and away. And I went there. They invited me into the main court. And I didn't know what to do, y'all, because I'm like, man, I don't, what am I supposed to do when the queen comes out? Should I bow? Should I get down on all fours or face down, prostrate, whatever? And y'all, this the most beautiful sister I had ever seen, y'all. She came out. Oh man, she was gorgeous, y'all. She was gorgeous. She had this, I mean, just imagine how the ancient Egyptian royalty used to dress. She had this white gown on with gold trim, and her hair was like pulled up, and it was like curly and stuff, but it was like pulled up and curly, and man, she was fine, y'all. Like, she had the makeup on, the lipstick and everything, and her eyes were just like big and beautiful. And when she came out, I knew that was the queen, and she had some people with her. And I was like, so one of them signaled me forward to the queen, and I was like, okay, like, should I bow like the Japanese? Should I put my hands on her? And she just looked at me like, she was so cute. And I'm getting ready to get down. She's like, so one of her assistants just whispered in my ear. She did like that, like, go tell them what to do. And she came over, and all of the sisters was bad, y'all. They was all bad. Some of her assistants had like froze, but everybody here was like dope. They were bad. They were bad, y'all, bad to the bone. I'm telling you, I wish I could pull it out of my mind and put it on the screen for y'all. I mean, like, so bad. Brothers, any brothers watching, this is one of them sisters so bad. When you look at her, it's like that Denzel Washington in Glory. You got that one tear coming down. You can't even crack a smile. You just got that one tear. You're like, she's fine. Thank you, Lord, for letting me see this, Lord. All of them were stunners. But the queen was the stunner of the stunners. And so, but the funny thing was, I knew her. Like, I knew her. I was like, I don't know how I know you, but I know. And so I stood up and just like, I ain't gonna stand up, y'all, because I don't have my camera situated right. But I stood up and I just like bowed down, and she just like, okay, you're fine. Come on in. So they started showing me around and everything. And I told her I was there on official business. And she's like, yes, I know why you're here. And yeah, come here, let me show you the palace. Would you like some fruit? They had like big old giant, like, I don't know if it was gold or silver. I can't remember. But it was this fruit tray with these giant fruit on it. And she's like, would you like something to eat, something to drink? I was like, I just had some water. Because I wasn't trying to drink no wine. I was on business there. And I didn't want to drink no wine and say nothing wrong, because all them girls was there was fine. So I was just like, just give me some cold water. But y'all know how it is on the astral realm. They like, everything is telepathy. Everything's telepathy. So she's like reading my mind at the same time. She's just like smiling, just shaking her head like, this boy. And anyway, so the funny thing, y'all, is like, I knew them. I don't even know how I know them, but like, I knew them and they knew me. So I'm immediately thinking, like, do these Romans know? They can't be smart enough to know, like, that these are my people from another period. Like, I'm reincarnated. Because, y'all, the part that tripped the assistants and the handmaidens out was that I was walking through and showing them different stuff in the palace like I've been there before. I was like, yeah, this over here. Oh, y'all redecorated this. And they was like, how do you know that? But the queen, she knew. She just smiled. And I don't know. It's just funny, y'all. Like, it's like I was like remembering her. But anyway, so I told her while I was there, and this, that, and the third, I want to make sure I don't jump around. I want to make sure I don't jump around anything. Let me make sure I'm on my notes and watch my time. Okay, let's see. How was it? Let's see. Looking at my notes. Yeah, just different. Oh, I was pointing out. They were like, here, come on. They were like, give them a tour. So they showing me. Yeah, there was water. You went through this one part, and they had this drapery, and you're looking out over this like white stone balcony, and there's like water out here. And I'm just tripping, y'all, because it's just beautiful, and it's all us, y'all, in our regal attire and regal garb, and her palace guards there, they were like these big diesel dudes, and I'm like, they know I'm a soldier, but I'm like, it's cool. It ain't no static, like nothing. It ain't no static. Like, he better not try nothing. It's like there was this familiarity. And I was showing them, they said, hey, coach, take them outside and show them. I was like, oh, I used to play ball over there. And they were like, how do you know? I was like, yeah, this is what, and all of the kids were coming up to me like, hey, and I was, yeah, it was the most beautiful thing. It was the most beautiful thing. I did not want to leave. But anyway, as I'm getting on the palace hands, they were all astonished that I knew what these different rooms were. And they were looking at the queen like, how does he know this? And she never said anything. She just smiled. So now, after I'm done with the tour and I've eaten some food and drank some ice cold water, and that water tastes so clean, none of this American water with all this darn fluoride and all this crap in it and this, that, and the third. So we start talking business and I'm like, okay, Your Highness, you know I'm here. And I'm here to, I forgot. In the beginning, after I bowed, they told me it was customary for if the queen, if you found favor in her sight, like if she liked you or she thought you were cute or whatever, she wanted to dance with you. So she was like, would you like to dance? And I was like, can I like touch her hand? And they're like, of course, she's asked you to come and dance. It would be rude not to. So I'm thinking, I was like, okay, like what music are we going to play? And she said, so the queen looks at me, she says, you choose. I said, fast or slow? She said, you choose. And I'm like, man, I don't want to dance slow. She fine, y'all. I don't want to get in trouble. They throw me in the brig out this mofo. So I tell them to play some fast music, y'all. And I'm just holding her by the hand and leaning back and spinning her around and stuff like that and everything. So anyway, she's just looking at me like, he acting so shy. And anyway, I'm trying to stay out of trouble because I'm like, look, you know, I ain't never been here before, even though it was familiar to me. I hadn't been there in that lifetime. And I know that the pendulum of power has swung back to the Egyptians. They back in power. And this is why the Romans sent me to return this ginormous, priceless artifact that was too heavy. Like it had to be like lifted up with cranes and put on this different stuff, whatever. So we get down to the main, and I'm still thinking like, God, I really want to take some cell phone footage, but I'm gonna keep it in my pocket because I don't want to offend anybody if they see me taking this camera out. And nobody had cameras, so I don't even know if they would have known what it was. But it's like I was there in the past, but I was there from the future. Just kind of weird timing, convergence thing. And so we go to this little library area, and there's this long table looking out a window. And so I point to the artifact, and I said, where would you like my men to put this? And she says, tell them to bring it over to some section of the palace. This house is beautiful. Everything was brown. It was earthen. There was a lot of earthen stuff in there and just a lot of crystal and a lot of precious metals, gold, silver. They were like it was bejeweled. It was beautiful, y'all. But it was earthy too. It was like very earthy. So there was a lot of woods. There was a lot of clay. It was just polished. Everything's beautiful. So anyway, she says, like, put it over here. And so my men bring it in, but I want to like help because y'all know me. I'm like, I can't just like not help, even though I'm the commander. And she's smiling and nodding her head like, yeah, he's the same person. And y'all know in the dreamscape, there's telepathic communication. And I'm like, how does she know me? And how do I know her? And anyway, so we put it down. And so I go over and we go over to this little window thing. And there's some drink vessels there. And she's like, okay, I want you to have a glass of wine with me now. I was like, okay, cool. I'm in your palace. We're gonna do what you say do. So as she's pouring the wine herself. You know, she tells her servants to move away, and she's pouring the wine herself. So I'm like, all right. So I said, listen, you know why I'm here. They sent me to return this to you, and I guess it's like a goodwill gesture. And she thinks something, and I try to interpret her thought, but I misinterpreted it. And she got angry at me, y'all. She got angry. And she's like, she turned and looked at me like, wait a minute. She looked at me like, what team are you playing for? And I'm like, whoa, Your Highness, listen, I'm not trying to offend you or anything. I thought that, you know, maybe I misinterpreted what you were saying, but it's like I think y'all where I messed up was I thought that she was saying that she was going to give them grace and mercy for them returning her artifact. So I was like, hey, so you're gonna give grace to the Romans, right? She was ready to cut my head off, y'all. But she felt my heart. I immediately felt her like telepathically, like she was an empath on top of that. Like she had all the waters. She had the Cancerian empathy. She had the Scorpio seeing, and she had the Piscean knowing. So she immediately read me energetically. And she saw that I was being sincere and not trying to be evasive. And she said, look, I know that you're being sincere. She said, they get no mercy from me. She said, I love you and I love your energy. So she said, you're welcome to stay here. You and your men are welcome to stay here with us, or you can return to Rome. And then she telepathically said to me, if you return to Rome, I'll make sure you're protected. That's what she said to me. She said, but if you want to stay here, she said, you can stay here, because she said, after a while, there won't be anything for you to go back to there. And I was like, oh, snap. Oh, snap. So I'm thinking at this point, do I return and let these, because these generals like that this emperor and these Senate people that sent me and my men there to return this thing, they were like, if we give her stuff back, maybe they'll show us mercy and won't destroy our kingdom. Like, they knew she was on the warpath. That's why they gave it back. So I was like, whoa, she really ain't playing. And I said, but she really riding for me. So she was like, you can go back there if you want. But it was like this whole telepathic communication. Like, you can go back there if you want. You can say goodbye to your friends. I ain't have no family in the dream. I ain't, like, when I say family, I wasn't married or nothing like that. I was just a soldier. Okay. So she was like, you can go back there and say goodbye, say your goodbyes to your friends and stuff like that, or whatever, or close out any business if you want. And then if you're still there when we attack, my men have orders not to touch you and these men here that are with you. Because they were like my chosen men. They were like my boys. They sent like this elite unit of us to go here in case we would have had to fight. They knew we could have fought our way out of it. But I wasn't about to fight them because they was my people. So here's that theme again. I had that in two other visions. That's crazy, y'all. I'll tell y'all what this all means. I'm about to tie it together.
All right, so that's about all I'm going to show on that one. And I was going to tell y'all something before I clicked off of here, but now I don't remember it. So let me stop sharing this and let me bring myself back in here. Okay, so all right now. Dwight said, I remember this. I have literally been recalling this video as I watch events unfold. Rome will fall. That's all I have been hearing. No exceptions. Wow. All right. So with that being said, I want y'all to see this because that's what I was going to show y'all. Let me go back there. Let's get that off. Okay. Y'all look at this date right here. Y'all see that date right there? December 6th, 2024. So this is nearly 4 months ago. This is nearly 4 months ago. We're about a week away from this being 4 months old. All right. Now, let me bring to the screen now Exhibit A, and B, and C, and D. All right. Let's see. How are we going to do this? Number 90, 91, 89, 88, 87, 86. All right. So this is a screen capture. What I'm about to show you guys is a screen capture of an Instagram channel that popped up in my feed this morning. Oh, actually, no. Dr. Moonby shared this in her story. So I went to the actual IG page or whatever and looked at all of the slides because there were 6 slides and I screen captured them and put them here for you. I'm going to show you the source article too, in case you guys want to read the article. I'll put the link in the description box. But this to me was a better capture of the overall energy rather than me reading the entire news article because a couple of different outlets carried it. But let's go back to my cardioid first. All right, here we go. I want y'all to see this. These artifacts looted during the 1897 British invasion of the Benin Kingdom have been housed in Dutch institutions, including the National Museum of World Cultures and the Rijks, I don't know how to pronounce that. That's a Dutch word, obviously, museum. Now, let's take that one off and let's present another one. Oh, let's see. Okay. The decision to return them aligns with a growing movement for the repatriation of African cultural heritage stolen during colonial rule. It follows similar returns by Germany and the UK. I can't make this stuff up, people. I can't make it up. I can't make it up. Nigeria has been actively pushing for the return of looted artifacts, leading to the establishment of the Edo Museum of West African Art, where many repatriated pieces will be displayed. The Netherlands' move is part of broader efforts to acknowledge historical injustices and restore cultural heritage to its rightful owners. Okay. The return of the Benin bronzes is a step in the right direction, but let's be clear. Repatriation alone is not enough. Western nations didn't just steal artifacts, they severed generations of Africans from their cultural heritage, erasing connections and profiting from what was never theirs. Remember, I told y'all the queen was mad. She was mad, y'all. She said, ain't gonna be no mercy. She said, tell them I appreciate them returning this stuff, but it's too little too late. These stolen treasures sat in museums, generating wealth and prestige, while the rightful owners were left with historical voids. Returning them without reparations is an incomplete justice. They must pay for the harm done. Monetary reparations are overdue. The cultural theft came with consequences, and it's time for accountability. Now, in this dream, y'all, they did not, let me remove these from the studio here. In this dream, the queen wasn't asking for money. Why would she want money? Why would she want money? They had it. The palace was like ancient Kemet was restored. So I just wanted to show y'all that. I wanted y'all to see the date of that vision / astral travel trip, and then show y'all here just 4 months later. Let me bring up an article so y'all know this ain't no cap. They didn't just make that stuff up. Let's see. Hang on one sec, fam. All right. And they're doing it all over the world. Look at this. Wow. Hold on. I didn't even see this one. All right, let me show y'all this. Because this is what's coming with this eclipse too. Y'all need to know. All right. Here, the Netherlands will return more than 100 bronze artifacts to Nigeria. That's what I was just reading for y'all. Okay. Here's some of these artifacts. I told y'all these ancient artifacts hold energy, and they've had them for how long? The queen in the dream wasn't hearing it, y'all. So that thing said monetary reparations. I've been saying to y'all for the longest that reparations aren't something that to me are worth asking for. Here's why. You cannot be, look, I don't want to get dogmatic, but I'm going to say this real quick. You cannot ask somebody who technically did not break you to repair you. Reparations, the key word is repair. When you understand and understand the prophecy of Deuteronomy 28 and Leviticus 26, you know that your reparations are already built in. Go read some other prophecy. He said, when I call back your captivity, I'm going to return you to the land that I gave to your forefathers. All around the world, people who are not the children of the originals are controlling these lands and controlling the best parts of them. So I told y'all what was going to be coming. Wait, before I get there. Here, the Netherlands has returned 288 stolen artifacts to Indonesia. 288. So not only are they returning them to Africa, they're returning them to Indonesia. Look at these, y'all. Look at these. These are energetic pieces right here. Look at the patterns in them. Look at the crystals. I told you, I've been saying this for the longest, y'all. These artifacts hold energy. And when hands are touching them that do not match the frequency of the original, the frequency of the DNA that crafted them, you upset energies in the spirit world. Now, what have I been telling y'all for the longest is it was going to happen with this North Node entering Pisces. Pisces is the ruler of the 12th house. The 12th house is the bridge between the spirit realm and the physical realm. This is why they stood up Space Force during Trump's first administration some 8 years ago. I've been telling y'all, man, the Matrix plans in advance. They're not going to stand. You ain't got time to stand up a Space Force after. Now, I know they try to say, oh, well, the Space Force is to deal with missiles, ballistic missiles that go into space and then come back into the. They already had that. That was Strategic Air Command, okay? The Air Force, we've already had that kind of stuff. That Strategic Air Command was for ballistic missiles and all of that stuff. We've already had that. You don't need a Space Force for that. They don't tell y'all everything. They see stuff coming in advance. How do they see it? Because they have seers. They have seers. They have oracles. They have their own prophets. Why do you think the Bible called them prophets of Baal? Every kingdom since the beginning of time has had seers, oracles, and prophets whose only job was to advise leadership, rulership on what was coming so that they can hold on to power. Somebody knows their time is up. Somebody knows their time is up. So that dream, y'all, had significance. That vision, that astral trip had significance. I did not expect to start seeing it come into fruition 4 months after I had that vision, or whatever you want to call it, because it felt real. It didn't feel like a dream. I literally felt, I woke up feeling like I had just come back from the most beautiful place I'd ever seen. With the most beautiful baddies I'd ever seen, too. That part. Let's not leave that part out. I'm gonna be a man, all right? Let's not leave that part out. But I'm just saying, I did not expect to see that 4 months later. Sometimes we have these dreams, y'all, we just like, oh, I had this dream that da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But to see it, and we have dreams that have to deal with our personal lives that we sometimes see them come into fruition. But something like that is worldwide. I told y'all when this North Node entered Pisces with the this being a 9-year, 9 representing the end of cycles, what energies we're going to be seeing. And now we have Neptune, which is the planetary ruler of the 12th house. Y'all go watch my last live. Neptune, the planetary ruler of the 12th house, entering Aries a day after the eclipse. So you have spiritual energy lining up with war energy. Aries is the sign of conflict. That says spiritual conflict manifest. And then at the beginning of next year, February of 2026, you got the planet of karma coming into conjunction with the planetary ruler of the 12th house. The planet of karma is Saturn, coming into conjunction with the planetary ruler of the 12th house, which is Neptune, at 0 degrees in the sign of Aries. I told y'all in that last video how special that 0 degree is. That 0 degree is the only degree that does not belong to earth, water, air, or fire. It is the only degree of the 30 degrees that belongs. When I say 30 degrees, I know there's 360 degrees in the circle, but what I'm saying is each sign has 30 degrees in it. 0 degree being the first, 29th degree being the last. The 0 degree is the only one that does not belong to air, earth, fire, or water, or any of those signs. That 0 degree is ether. That's direct source energy. That's God, source, universe energy. It is the beginning and the end. That 0 degree is the alpha and the omega. So when you have the sign, when you have the planet of karma, payback, paying you what's owed to you, karma's not always bad. Karma's going to pay you what it owes you. If it owes you blessings, you're getting them in abundance. If it owes you curses, you're getting them in abundance. So you have the planet of karma coming into alignment with the planetary ruler of the 12th house, which is the bridge between the spirit realm and the physical realm, coming together at 0 degrees, God's source energy, ether, in the sign of Aries, the warrior. What do y'all think is coming to this planet? I've been saying this now, y'all. I've been saying this since last summer, since summer 2024. I've been saying this. And then I have that dream in December 2024, that vision, that trip. I went there. I woke up feeling like I was there. I felt like I was in between worlds because I had an iPhone wearing a Roman garb. And I was debating whether or not to take video of it. so I could try to bring it back into this realm, so I could show everybody how beautiful it was? And y'all put a thumbs up in the chat if you saw that there was this thing that was floating around Instagram that was showing it was like an AI rendition of what ancient Kemet looked like. I'm telling you, it looked just like that. And I had that vision before I ever saw that that little clip. Because I told Boss Lady, I was like, yo, this looked just like that dream. This is what it looked like. In it, y'all saw me say I was standing on a balcony looking over and I saw this crystal clear water and everything was like white and you had these beautiful trees. It looked just like that. It looked just like that. I don't even know how they came up, how they conceived that. Like, how did they conceive that? So I'm telling y'all what's coming, y'all. Everybody wants to talk about there are people that are, they don't want to see this matrix fall. I've talked to people, told them what's coming. No, Matt, don't say that. I'm not ready for it. I got other things I want to do. Okay, stay here. I'm deuces. I'm out. I'm out. I'm tired of working. I'm tired of it. 30 and 8. Jeremiah 30 and 8. I'm going to show that to you. I'm going to wrap up. Y'all, it's coming. It's coming. I just wanted y'all to see that. I know we in bonus time. I just wanted y'all to see the deft accuracy. The deft accuracy. Scary. Scary, y'all. Scary. This is what's coming. Jeremiah 30 and 4 through 8. And these are the words that the Lord spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah. For thus saith the Lord, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear and not of peace. Ask you now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Ask you now and see if a man is in labor with a child. Wherefore or why do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail? Y'all, the men are the protectors. The men are the physical protectors of the realm. Women are the spiritual protectors of the realm. Men are the physical protectors of the realm. When the physical protectors of the realm are trembling in fear and their face turns ghost white, what is that sight that they're seeing? This is prophecy that has not been fulfilled yet, but it's coming. Ask you now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore or why do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in labor? And all faces are turned into paleness. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. They could have added in recorded history there, and it would have been accurate. For that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble. But guess what? He shall be saved out of it. For it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Most High, the power, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck and will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him. Okay? All right? Therefore fear not, O my servant Jacob, saith the power, neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. And Jacob shall return and shall be in rest and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid. That ain't Jacob over there, 1948 declared David Ben-Gurion state in Tel Aviv. That ain't Jacob. Why? Because they're not in rest and they're not quiet. And none shall make them afraid. They're afraid every time the air raid sirens go off. For I am with thee, saith the Lord, to save thee, though I will make a full end of all nations where I've scattered you. That was Divine Mother in that dream saying, tell him it's too late. Tell him I appreciate the gesture. If you want to go back home, Matt, go ahead. But if you want to stay here, cool. Or Captain Matt, or whatever my name was in the dream. Because guess what? After a while, she said, it ain't going to be no place for you to go back to. That's right here. For I am with thee, saith the Lord, to save thee, though I will make a full end of all nations where I've scattered you. He said, what did she say? She said, I got orders. You and your men that's here today, y'all going to be protected. She said, everybody else going to fall. He said, I will not make a full end of thee, but I will correct thee in measure, and I will not leave thee altogether unpunished. It's some folks, it's some Jacob that been on that, okay? They're going to get corrected. He said, I'm not going to make a full end of you, but I'm going to correct you in measure, and I will not leave you altogether unpunished. Okay? All right? And I'm skipped down to where I have it highlighted. Thus saith the Lord, behold, I will bring again the captivity of Jacob's tents. Tents are houses, lands, where you live, your dwelling place. That's what the tent is symbolic of in scripture. And have mercy on his dwelling places. And the city shall be builded upon her own heap. And the palace shall remain after the manner thereof. The palace shall remain after the manner thereof. That palace I saw in that dream, ain't no place, there's no palaces that look like that right now. Even the finest palaces in like Saudi and Qatar and Kuwait and these other places where they got all the oil money, none of them could compare. And I've been in some of those palaces when I was stationed over in the Persian Gulf for the 4 months I was over there. We ain't seen nothing. The world has not seen anything that looked like what I saw in that dream. But he said the palace is going to look like that again. And out of them shall proceed thanksgiving and the voice of them that make merry, and I will multiply them, and they shall not be few. I will also glorify them, meaning I'm a big up you now. You gonna shine like the sun, and they shall not be small. Their children also shall be as aforetime, and their congregation shall be established before me, and I will punish all that oppress them. This part right here, y'all. Their children shall be as aforetime. Gonna be no more abortion clinics. All right, gonna be no more that foolishness. Ain't gonna be no more people snatching up people's kids and all of this stuff and selling them and all that. Ain't gonna be no more of that. But here's the kicker. And I will punish all that oppress them. Gonna be like that mother, that queen. She'll be like, try it if you wanna. Try it if you wanna. And their nobles shall be of themselves, and their governor shall proceed from the midst of them. That's why I be telling cats, they get mad at me when I say, yo, man, why y'all got y'all hope in this politician? Ain't no politician that can save this planet. It's a wrap. It's the system. The planet ain't gonna blow up and everybody die and the righteous raptured up in some rapture in a cloud and going up to heaven and singing hallelujah anyhow all day long. That ain't happening. No, that ain't what that's gonna look like. He said, I'm gonna call again the captivity of Jacob's tents. I'm gonna put them back in the land I gave their fathers, and I'm gonna punish all that oppress them. I'm gonna deal with these nations. I'm gonna deal with all these other ones. What'd he say? What'd he say? He said, I will make a full end of all nations where I've scattered you. He's basically saying the world system is done. I told y'all go read Daniel chapter 2. I tell y'all that all the time. It says that last kingdom was the shortest lived of all the kingdoms. What is America? What is Great Britain even? What is France even? Okay, so yeah, France, Great Britain, they're a few hundred years older than America. But I mean, in the grand scheme of things, they don't compare to those ancient civilizations in length. It said the last of those would be the shortest lived. America was born in 1776, technically. America was technically born in 1776 with the Declaration of Independence. That's the shortest lived of all of these world powers. Y'all learn how to read some prophecy, man. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. So I wanted to give y'all that bonus. I'm going to get ready to go ahead and wrap the video up. I told y'all this stuff is real. It's look for a lot of conflict energy also coming behind this eclipse. But I'm not one of these horoscope / transitory astrologers that tell you what's going to be happening in this country, that country, that country. There's some I follow, and they're more on the Vedic side than the tropical. But my favorite right now, I told y'all about Joni Patri. I like Joni, but my favorite right now is I think it's Sylvia Suryodaya, something like that. Y'all check that out. She been accurate. She been fire. She been fire, y'all, with her predictions. Tony said my sentinels are still here. Wow. They're there for a reason, Tony. They're there for a reason. They're there for a reason. So y'all, look, let me get ready to wrap this up. Yeah, I thank y'all for being here, man. Everybody that joined in today, to join in tonight. I'm glad I was able to get this in tonight because I was going to do this Friday, but I was like, wait a minute, the eclipse is on the 29th. I don't want to wait till the day of the eclipse. So if you're just now tuning in, be sure to go back and look at, there will be timestamps at the end of the video. So go ahead and be sure to click on the timestamp that's going to correspond to your house. I'm gonna have to preview a little bit and see where that 4th house marker is, but I will get that in there. I didn't write that time down. But that's all I got, family. Thank y'all for being here. Everybody that hung around. Thank y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed that story I shared in the beginning. Hopefully you can glean something from it. Again, I'm a Libra rising with Aries in the 7th house. And this eclipse has activated my 7th house of partnerships. And it is showing me where I need to stand up for myself and be bold and be fearless and just show up for me in these partnerships. I have not done that These eclipses force you into it. That situation forced me to take a look at myself. And I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, I cannot act like anything other than a 7th house Aries if I'm going to be successful in my life. I was created a 7th house Aries. I cannot change my energy because I cannot change. I don't go against the design of the designer. That's where we fail. We fail when we try to go against the design of the designer. Stop letting the world tell you who you should be. If what the world tells you you should be goes against everything that you feel on the inside, then it's not right. It's not right. And that's the problem with the world. There's too many cookie cutter approaches. That's my problem with religion, to be honest. Religion is cookie cutter. It tells everybody they're supposed to be the same way. It tells everybody they're supposed to do the same basic core things, when the truth is each and every one of us came here to do something different. Each of us came here to have a different experience. Learn your natal chart. Okay. So yeah, I shared that with you guys. I went through the different houses. How are you showing up? Will the real you please stand up? This eclipse is going to show you where you've not been personally bold, where you have not been taking authority. Aries is the leader. It's a cardinal sign. It's the first sign of spring. It is a sign that kicks off the cosmic new year or the astrological new year. I know that you can't, people in the Southern Hemisphere won't call Aries season the new year the same way we do, because we tie that new year to spring, and their spring is technically in Libra season. Okay. That's why I tell people, don't get out of your head. We love fighting. We love fighting and trying to be right too much. It's like, no, the new year is January 1st. Well, no, it's not January 1st. That's the Gregorian calendar year. The new year is the first sign of spring is Aries. Okay. Yes, the new year is when spring starts. The new year is when stuff comes out of the ground. Well, guess what? The leaves are changing colors in the Southern Hemisphere in the Aries season. So, and then you got the Jewish calendar. Well, the new year, Rosh Hashanah, starts in September, October. But that date's always floating, right? Those dates are always changing. The Passover dates are always changing. Easter dates are always changing. Rosh Hashanah's dates are always changing. They change the dates all the time, okay? That's why I say use the eye test. I don't care. Oh, it's not 12 months in the calendar. It's 13 months in the calendar. I don't care. A pizza pie. I know that because I just went and got me one for lunch today, all right? And I hate even saying that online because of the connotations of what these wicked people on the planet do. But when y'all hear me say that, I'm talking about food, all right? Just know that. Please know that. I ain't talking about what these wicked evildoers do with that code word that they use. I just love food. I told y'all that earlier. Okay. So a circle, use an apple pie then. How's that? An apple pie. I don't care how many slices. If you slice it into 6, if you do 4 big slices for greedy people like me, I should probably be a lot bigger than I am, y'all, because I love food. But anyway, I'm not. Thank God. I'm my size. I'm a correct size. But if you slice that pie into 4, 6, 8, 12, 13, 15, it doesn't matter how many slices you put in that pie, it's still 360 degrees. So I don't care how many months they put on the calendar, the equinox is not going to change. The spring equinox, the fall equinox is not going to change. The summer solstice, the winter solstice are not going to change. You got those 4 corners. You got those 4 corners, okay? They don't change. So that's the eye test. Don't let people get your mind twisted up. There's this many months or what. It does not matter. All that matters are the equinoxes and the solstices. There's 4 of them, okay? And they occur 3 months after each. You don't believe me? Look at your clock and pay attention to what time the sun rises. And do the math for those, they love switching the clock up. When I'm looking at that sunrise, I'm like, okay, if they didn't move the clock forward, that would be 6 something, not 7 something. So you got to do it on your own. Don't get caught up. Don't get caught up. All right? So I gave it to y'all. I don't even know how I got down that path. Let me get ready to get off of here. That's what's happening, family. I love y'all. Y'all stay sharp. Stay frosty, as they say in the military a little bit. And just know that these eclipses are energetic activations. And in essence, they're gifts. They are gifts to us. Take advantage of them. These eclipses are forced upgrades. What you choose to do with that energy is you. It's going to change you. They change you. But if you want to stay stuck, it's going to force you to change. But if you want to go back, that's the real backsliding, y'all. Church be talking about, oh, they backslid. They got saved. And now I seen them with a drink in their hand. I seen them with a cigarette. And they done backslid. They stopped going to church. They in a backsliding state. Shut up. Backsliding is improving, the universe forcing you to change into a better version of yourself. and then you slipping back into old the universe wants you to stand up and the real you to show up. You show up for about 3 months and you say, you know what? I think I want to go back to letting people walk all over me. Who does that? I guess there are people that do, but that's what backsliding would look like. The universe forces you to upgrade and stand up for yourself. You try it on for size, and then you say, you know what? I don't like standing up for myself. I think I like letting people walk over me better. I'm going to go back to the version of me that lets people walk all over me. It doesn't make me happy, but it makes them happy. My ass. Y'all, let me get off of here before I get crunk. I ain't trying to get crunk before I get off this video. This video will be over 3 hours if I get crunk. Yo, listen, y'all. If you haven't done so already, hit the like button on your way out, okay? And if you are new to my channel and you enjoy being entertained, educated, uplifted, inspired, hit that subscribe button. And please, please, please make sure that your notification bell is set to all so that you'll be notified when I upload new content or when I go live, right? And the final 2 things, never too late to show love. I don't care where we are in the age, y'all. I don't care what. Love is a high vibration. Love is a high vibration, and love is something that you do. Love ain't always, love is something you have to, but to have it, you got to do it. You want to have love created. Love is a verb first. It's a verb before it's a noun. So if you want there to be love, you got to show love. All right. Love is something you do. So tell somebody you love them and mean it. If you say you love somebody and there's no action behind it, it's empty. It's like me giving you a bottle of water that's got no water in it. Empty plastic bottle. All right. How do you mean it? You have to show it. Okay. And then last but not least, please remember what I said in this video and others. This is going to be the theme till the cows come home, as my mother used to say. If you want to be completely, or if you want to reach the fullness of your destiny, you cannot get there unless you are operating in the fullness of authenticity. If you're not being authentic, your authenticity is tied to your higher self. It is tied to the 5D version of yourself. It is tied to your oversoul. It is tied to the version of you that exists in the ether. This version of you is only a portion of the greater you. If you want to realign with the greater you, you have to be authentic, because that version of you is 100% you. Just like I just said, I cannot be an Aries 7th house if I'm acting like a Libra 7th house. Okay? Be you. Learn your natal chart. That's all I got, family. All right. Thank y'all again for being here, and y'all have a wonderful night. And listen, be excited. Be excited. This is not anything to be afraid of. Divine timing. Listen, a lot of people, for real quick, before I go, for my tarot readers out there and those that watch tarot, let me explain something to you. A lot of people don't like to see that tower card. I love it. You know why? Because it does not feel good, but it forces you to be who the Most High wanted you to be. All right, I gave you an opportunity to change yourself, and you didn't want to do it. So now I'm going to force you to change. And being forced to change never feels good, but the outcome always does. You're always glad. Let me tell you something about it. And put your hands up in the chat real quick if you attest to this. Tower moments never feel good when they're happening, but the outcome, the aftermath of them always make you feel better. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. Somebody put it in the chat. Tell me if I'm wrong. You can't tell me I'm wrong. Tower moments always make you feel better. They don't feel good during it, but you always feel better when they're done. They force you to shift. They force a shift in you, and you're like, you know what? This is who I really am. And so have gratitude for those moments that don't feel good, where the Most High, the universe, the universal I am presence forces you to change. Express gratitude for that, because it's done out of love, and it's done to align you with your higher self. Remember, all things work together for the good of them who love the Most High, who are called according to his purpose. Thank you for that, Dwight. Y'all have a great night, man. I love y'all. Peace.